Good evening. I hope you can hear me. Usually, ooh, I was thinking I could keep a certain tab open so that then I could hear alerts um, from YouTube, but it doesn't really matter. We don't need to do that. There's probably going to be no need for it in any case. Welcome. If you're Vincent, thank you. Yeah, I am doing book club again today. It wasn't as popular as the debate diagrams because it's not as dramatic, but it's nice, and I do need to keep consistent with it. I can't abandon it, so definitely continuing. I guess check yourself before you wreck yourself. What? But I mean, by that I mean putting your own house in order before you try to help others out. It's a good idea. Yeah. I suppose maybe that's what I'm doing. Other than just criticizing the way people debate, I'm gonna just criticize my own self. Um, and yes, I am making an attempt. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm making an attempt. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you. How you doing? I liked it. Thanks, Cowardly Lion. Tiger Bear Hybrid. Are you related to Man Bear Pig? Man Bear Pig. Sorry, it's just whenever I think of animal hybrids, that's the one I go to. Yeah, so let me get into my layout here so you guys can see where we are. So in the previous part, what we haven't been going like immediately within chapters and whatever. I didn't finish diagramming as much as I wanted to in the previous part, but I think I did a good chunk this time, and we can just continue to do about 3 chapters per stream. It's very easy. You could finish this book in a couple days. It's very, very easy reading. But to absorb it and to diagram it as if you're basically rewriting the whole thing, of course, it's going to take a longer time. So yeah, our last part, if you missed it, if you didn't miss it, whatever, just to remember, we finished we went through the introduction, the surprising power of atomic habits, and then we actually didn't go through how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. We didn't go through how to build better habits in 4 simple steps, and we didn't go through anything else after that. So basically, at part 1, we got through here, chapter 1, basically, from an introduction to the first 2 chapters, basically. So if we go, I'm going back to the introduction now. I mean the fundamentals now, so that we can catch up and finish that off. So we're finishing off fundamentals, and then we are going to get to a little bit into the man who didn't look right, which is that chapter, and then the next 3 chapters will be in our next stream. So yeah, and I think it'll go a bit quicker actually. So at least the next 3 chapters. I don't know what we'll do after that, what our rate will be after that. But anyway, let's get to the fundamentals, because that's where we were. Okay. Hello, QTs. Hello, Lucy. Hi, Miss Sparkles. Sounds good. Let's go. One day at a time. Exactly. Wait. Before we go here, let's just talk about the past week, right? Because first of all, it feels like it was very long ago that we did this. Okay, it feels like so much has happened in between. So it feels like I didn't even. I fell off the wagon, guys. Okay, I don't know how. Basically, what did happen is I had several trash bags to throw out today. This morning, I threw them out. They're gone, but I had several of them. So I have lost my streak of every day throwing things away. So there was that. I have fallen out of the good habits I had before. So it's a less positive message. But when I read into the next few chapters now, I'm realizing exactly what it does is just makes me more aware of why I fell out of my little burst of motivation. And it's not that easy. And of course, that's the book never said it was that easy. Don't sing. I was going to sing. Anyway, cool. So yeah, that's where I am. My trash habit fell by the wayside, but I started again up to today, and the weekend is what fucked me up because I just took too much time on the weekend. I took too much time to chill, and yeah, not proud of it, but it's okay. At least I did it today. That's at least I did that. At least, okay. Just keep going, and when trying is all I can say. Yes, exactly. I have to just keep going. I can't sit like we said in our last where we were. Like this is where we were last time, right? We were talking about how you can what's the name? Where oh god, it's a few. I don't know exactly where it was, but that we would where am I? Aerodynamics of clothing. Oh, into the thought traps, basically, like the thought loop of always going. You can just the way habits can accumulate and become, and the effects get higher. You can also get into a loop of thinking badly, and that can have high impact on the rest of your habits and everything. And that's what I did. So if I was sitting there carrying on and thinking about how horrible I am because I did lose my streak, then I wouldn't be able to do anything. So, but so what I had to do is just do it. So today was not a day that I failed. So at least there was that. And we'll get more into that this episode, because one of the things we learn is it doesn't have to be unanimous. Just remember that part. Okay, so cool. Where we were last, I think so I finished mapping this section, right? So we were, I think we might have just finished around here. No, not even that. I don't even think we even spoke about the overestimation of one. We did talk about let's just go back anyway. Let's go back, because the surprising power of atomic habits is what we were looking at. And he's trying to explain, we told the story. I spoke about the British cycling and all of that. And that we don't need to redo that. So I'll close that. Actually, I realized today that if I close this, then people that are looking at the diagram can't open them. I don't know if it wasn't working for some reason, but it seems like if I close something, people on the outside can't see it. So I have to open these. Anyway, so why small habits make a big difference is what he was trying to explain to us, and he used the introduction. Every chapter has like a little introduction blurb thing that has some sort of story introducing the reason we're reading this chapter. Makes a lot of sense. So we did look at this the 1% better every day and the compounding nature of small improvements. Really great. But yeah, and how the slow pace of transformation also makes it easier to let a bad habit slide, because you don't get that result immediately. It's very easy to just leave it, because your life is not, you're not obese tomorrow if you eat the cookie today. It doesn't work that way. So it's easy. It's very easy to let things slide until years later you realize where you are. Yeah, I think we did this can get dangerous if you let negative thought loops take control instead of just changing decisions. That's what I was talking about. So be concerned with trajectory, not current results. So this is new. The trajectory versus current results. The trajectory, you have to be no, that was also another one, but it relates to your habits can compound for you or against you. We did the positive. We did do that as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember. I know I could have done this beforehand, but I was watching Mauler play games. So that's a bad habit. Okay, so we did talk about how small things lead to big changes. We've done that. Fine, we understood it. But we didn't talk about the exactly I think, see, I diagrammed it like a little bit after the stream, so I'm forgetting when I actually discussed this stuff. Anyway, we do complain. Habits must persist beyond the valley of disappointment, which is such a lovely term, valley of disappointment. I've learned trying to do it all at once can overwhelm you and make it harder to succeed, of course. Atomic habits of a spotless mind, I wish. Sorry about you missing up in your clean streak. I hear at 10 you get access to Mr. Clean Comb, the clean out any. Yes, that's what I want. I want that sort of thing. Make PC building a habit. That's exactly it. It's part of my thought patterns that I just keep avoiding things. I keep that's a thing that I have to do, and then I don't do it. There's amazing stuff that we have yet to get to once I've caught us up here. That will relate to that, Andrew. So yeah, you look really good in that color. Oh well, thank you, Ms. Sparkles. Okay, so anyway, we're talking this. No, I'm trying to. No, I remember talking about plateau of latent potential because I was talking about. I remember thinking, oh, I didn't say that right. I don't know how people say plateau or plateau or whatever. But yeah, we have to get past the plateau of latent potential. So I think this is where I was supposed to close it. Okay. Yes. So one of the things this is where we got to. Forget about goals, focus on systems instead. So that is quite a huge paradigm shift. We are usually thinking about, oh, you have to set a specific goal. It must be measurable. It must be this and that. All of that stuff we usually talk about. It's like, oh, what are your goals in life and whatever. Sure, it's not to say that we don't need those. We don't need goals or whatever. But the way that we focus our perceptions around goals actually doesn't help us to achieve them. So what our author has seen is that there's more relationship with systems than with goals that he set when he was trying to apply all of these changes in his life. It was not about getting to the goal. That whenever he made changes, whenever he succeeded, it was because of systems changes, not of goal changes. If that was true, which is what I love. What's the difference between system and goals? This is quite a lovely part. Goals are about results, duh. So it's like, okay, well, our goal is to win the championship. Our goal is to do this. Our goal is to make money. Our goal is to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Systems are the processes leading to results. So it makes sense that most people have similar goals. Okay. Oh, I would like to be happy. That's a great thing. That's a great goal. If it was about the goals that we set, we would all achieve them. But the thing that differs is the system, the way that we apply our processes and go towards our goal. That's what makes us winners or losers. It makes so much sense. So yes, it's like, yeah, if you have no goal, that seems like you have no point or whatever. But if you are only goal focused and not looking at your processes, you can have as many goals as you like, love, but you're not going to score them. So examples here, I love the guys' examples. I use all the examples. I was thinking there are sometimes in the book in today's mapping that I was like, I don't need to put all of the examples that he gives me and all of that. But the illustration, the things that really illustrate his points is what I really. So if there are too many examples, I'll just leave a couple out. So these aren't an exhaustive list, but these are the ones he doesn't usually put too many. So these are my favorites. So here's a coach, right? So say we've got a coach. A coach's goal is to win the championship, to get the team to win the championship. Okay, system, the way of recruiting players, assistant coaches, practices. So the way that he does the thing is how he's going to get to the goal. Makes sense. He's just giving us more of an illustration of what's the difference between a goal and a system or process. Goal, $1 million business. Oh my God, everybody has one of those. The goal, I just want my $1 million business. Like, that's not what makes them happen. The system, testing product ideas, employee hiring, marketing, duh, that makes sense. The things that make the goal doesn't make the accomplishment. Musician, my goal is to play a new piece as a musician. System, well, I've got to practice a certain amount of time, breaking down the piece into little pieces, which is what I used to do, which was very bad because when I was reading music, I would read it slowly and learn it, and then learn that piece as I couldn't sight read, basically. Anyway, yeah, and then you break your piece down, you perform it, you receive feedback, you get better. That's your process of achieving the goal. Great. So we're understanding that there is a process of the thing that we got to focus on is process, but that's not just about identifying your process. Okay, can you succeed if you only focus on the systems and not the goals? Aha, big question. So one of the quotes he gives us, and that is the style for quote, guys. I should make it italic like the rest of the others. The score takes care of itself. So you got to just play the game. That's basically what we're learning. I rush my words too often. Planning things out beforehand can be helpful. I like that you know what I'm trying to say when my tablet changes words and I push send before I see it's changed. Well, it works. I'm an amazing procrastinator. Excuse me, Lucy. I challenge you to. I will win. Okay, that's all. We'll do it later. We'll have our fight about who's a better procrastinator later. I rush my words too often. Did I hard to do when you do things that just pop into your head? Yeah, that is another thing that does come to mind later on. That's very relevant. You've read the book, but it is relevant. The thing of just doing what you impulsively want to do, that is a hazard. So are goals useless then? Of course not. They give us direction. That makes sense. There's something to strive for, but we can sit and strive for it. I've wanted to be a better person for a long time. A lot of us have wanted to be better than what we are for a long time. That's just because that we had this goal. Oh, and it is measurable. Me doing better at work is measurable. I can do a certain amount of tasks within a certain amount of time. That's measurable, right? Isn't that the whole idea? I remember when I was teaching kids about goals in this positive psychology business I was in. It was like they have to be measurable and blah, blah, blah. We need to know the process, right? But also, it's not even about just identifying it. I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's actually about enjoying the process and actually experiencing the process, making it about the process, not about the goal. And he explains why. Okay, but systems are for progress. The goal is a landmark, a line in the sand to get to, but the progress is only occurs once your system has been implemented properly. And the thing that fails, if your system fails, your goal's going to fail. So problems arise when you focus on goals rather than spending time on systems. Yay! I love this. Sorry, because it's just it's like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I love that sort of thing. Okay, we should put 5 fingers up. Okay, I can be super motivated, but the gumption usually slows over time. I get bored too easily. Oh, that is so true, Lucy. It's that burst of motivation is what happened to me last week, right? And then I hit the weekend, and I just didn't feel good, and it just all went staggering, and that's how it happens, where you have this burst of. I had a burst of motivation that okay, I'm gonna game, and I'm gonna do this. I did a whole bunch of. I did stuff that I said I was gonna do, but I also didn't do a lot of stuff that I said I was gonna do, and I did a lot of nothing. And I just didn't feel good, and that escalated because I felt bad. I didn't do Rumble Gang. Where you at? Sorry, Carl's. Hi, Carl. I don't know how long ago that message was. I only saw Carl. Carl's in Rumble chat, guys. Well, was. Oh, by the way, guys, just to show that we're not talking about the book anymore for a second. Rumble is not available in the app is not available here. Anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? That's it. I'm not going to talk much more about that. I'm scared. Okay. Cool. I can be meh. Meh is exactly the thing. Meh. Okay? Yeah. Oh, look, Lucy is in chat too. Okay, so let's go to the problems, which makes so much sense, right? This is a great concept. Okay, problem one: winners and losers have the same goals. It's not the goals that are that are the differentiator. Okay, I just try to plan things out that I need to do. Set little goals so I am at least likely to find reasons to not do the task I set for myself. What? I'm least likely to find reasons to not do it. So if you do little bits of the task, it works. I'm here too. Hi, 333. Sounds like every Friday. What? Interesting. Yes. Problem. Winners and losers have the same goals. Okay. Survivorship bias. Because the successful people had that as a goal, we assume the goal was what got them to their success. That makes so much sense. Of course, it's like, well, it's not that we assume, we don't think it exactly that way. It's not like we go, oh, well, because so-and-so set the goal to do this, that's why they did it. It's more like the process that was involved, or not the process. Ooh, don't get. It's more like we like, what did that person do? Oh, he set a goal for himself and then he accomplished it. So it's like, oh, well, the fact that he set the goal has to do with the success, right? Of course, it must be that. So that's what he means. It's not, we don't have it. It's not that simplistic of a way of thinking that we're like, oh, because goal equals success. We're not that silly. It's just more like we think the act of setting a goal, because the people that have succeeded and survived through this goal accomplishment, we think, oh, well, because of that, that was the intrinsic thing. That's what we should see. How did he set this goal? What did he feel about it? All of that. No, what actually needs to happen is the execution. What happens with the execution? Goal setting cannot be what differentiates winners from losers, because everybody that is playing in the World Cup is wanting to win the World Cup. Everybody's that's playing in the Super Bowl is wanting to win the Super Bowl. It's the same goal. And they want, and fine, we can even bring it all the way to, well, everybody wants to do better than they did last time that they played. That's not the differentiator. What actually happens, what's actually the differentiator is the actual playing of the game. So problem two with just focusing on the goals, right? So just like, oh, I'll set my goal, cool. Problem two, achieving a goal is only a more momentary change. Let's explain. You are treating a symptom rather than a cause. So you're like, okay, if I get this amount of money, then I'll be happy and everything is sorted. If I get to this point in time and I get to this. This was quite funny. This was because it was exactly me. Messy room getting tidied once every time motivation peaks. It was like his look. So exactly like the trash and litter situation. So there is messy room getting tidied up once every time the motivation peaks. That is, we are the goal. If we were just going to focus on the goal of having a tidy room, right? Having the tidy apartment, then I achieved that goal twice a week. Yes, I know we could make my goal itself to be that I achieve the goal a certain amount of times, but the thing is, I get that burst of motivation or that frustration or whatever, and we'll go into how that thinking works just now about the trash. I think we're just going to use the trash habit as we move through this book, okay, guys? Because it's come with us. So messy room getting tidied once every time motivation peaks. So, okay, my motivation peaks. Also, I'm procrastinating. I don't want to do a more complex task. So I'm just going to go and take the trash out because, the trash has to get taken out. So I'm using it to fuel other bad habits as well. My procrastination. Oh, well, I have to do the thing. Like, I can see these things happening, and we'll talk about what we've got to do with my brain for that. Achieving a goal changes your life for the moment. It's true. My apartment, I call it a house. It's not a house, but my apartment is clean for that moment. And then, cool, it's clean until we get PF Chang's, and I have to go and get another huge bag. What's up? Hey, $0. You're a list maker. I want it, meow. You want to get it done now. That's good. That's good. It comes in later on, Sparkles. The mind is such an asshole. It always tries to convince you of how unnecessarily difficult the task is, or to take a gigantic rest after getting over a small hurdle. Oh my God, Nico, that is it. It's like, okay, oh, I took the trash out. You know what? I should make another cup of coffee. But we will go and talk about the brain soon. Okay, it'll be very cool. Lots of heads in baskets. Are you saying we're basket cat? I don't know what you're saying. I'm supposed to have goals now. I'm okay with being part if the gray mass looks quite what? I'm okay with being part of the gray mass of quiet desperation. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Okay, so achieving a goal changes your life for the moment. Yep, we know that. Solving at the results level means solving temporarily. So the result, yes, having the trash taken out is the result. So I'm cool, right? No, then that is like, I think that is where you get the whole thing of just existing, where you just, okay, I'm going from day to day, and you know what? Hey, existence is actually a very good accomplishment, considering like staying alive is a good thing. But when you want more, you actually do need to be happy with the actual process rather than well, it comes into the next problem you'll see. So you have to solve at the system level, not the results level, and that goes into the next chapters. It will relate in the next chapters. But here you go. Problem 3: goals restrict your happiness. This is the same sort of idea of that temporary thing. What happens with execution? Lots of heads in baskets. Oh, I get it. Hi, Hydra. Well, at least I have excuse not to clean up the backyard right now. Keep the bugs away. Just sprayed out back. Yeah, exactly. See, achievement unlocked. Existence. We are totally gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'll get my phone and I'll present screen and we'll play live RPG. And we can do that. Achievement unlocked. Existence. Cool. So yeah, goals restrict your happiness. We think once we reach a goal, we'll be happy. It is so true. When I was in South Africa, it was like, once I've done this part that need for my immigration, I will be happy. I will be less stressed. I will be okay, cool. And it's like, no, there's just the next thing after that. And it was, okay, once I go to Dubai, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, you're not just gonna everything, nothing. It just means things are different. It doesn't mean that suddenly everything that made life difficult. Okay, the things that made life difficult in South Africa were very different to the ones that happen here, for sure. Definitely, your context does matter. But the point is just because of those problems disappear, the problem of crime and all of that goes away. That doesn't mean all of a sudden your life is going to be perfect. So that is exactly the flaw with thinking of just a goal. Okay, once I get there, then I'll be happy. Then you get there. And then what? So it limits your happiness. It restricts your happiness to a certain point in time. So putting happiness off until the next milestone. I love the way that he actually worded that. You're putting happiness off until the next milestone. And then when you get to the next milestone, you can't stay there. That's not life. You don't sit there at your milestone, because then it kind of wears off, doesn't it? You're just like, okay, well, I've achieved this. And now that's what happens. And life continues after your milestone. So you can't leave it. Oh, and then it's like, okay, well, then I'll just get my next milestone. So that's not, it's not fulfilling. You are then hanging on those. It becomes like a freaking climbing wall. You're just not, you're not as happy as you could be. And what this is interesting as well, either or mentality. There is an either or. Either I am at my milestone and happy, or I'm striving for it as well. So if I'm striving, then I haven't achieved it yet. If I'm striving, then I've failed, which is not how the world works. So this either or mentality, which comes into depression and feeling bad about yourself, is definitely, you have this black and white thinking. So it was quite cool to see that reflected here that actually when you are looking at your life goals wise, on a lower level, you get this either or mentality. And that's part of all the ways that you could beat yourself up is go, oh, well, either I've succeeded and I'm happy, or I'm failing and I'm unhappy. So it's like, and until I've gotten to my success, which is a milestone up there somewhere, I'm going to be failing. Especially because that's not like, because your goal often in life is not going, it's not the same. It's kind of what happened. If I think of what happened after university, there was always a goal of, okay, we got to finish our degree. Cool, finish the degree. Okay, well, then I must now get into postgraduate. Okay, I got into postgraduate, finished the postgraduate. I must go into the next one. Like, there was always that. Cool. But once I was out of varsity, there were no more clear milestones that I could strive for without, I felt like, okay, shit, what do I do now? So, and it is that way. It felt like I was failing because I didn't have the next place to go to. So it is a way that it makes you unhappy. So you feel like, and this is not to say, oh, the world, thinking of success and thinking of goals, the world needs to change. No, it's perception. It's the way of thinking. It's not saying the world needs to change and the world has a bad perception of things. It's like, no, we built this around ourselves. We think about it this way. If we change our perception, we can change our reality and we can be happier. So restriction, you restrict your satisfaction as well. You restrict you're only satisfied when you get your promotion. You're only satisfied when you get this. You only said, instead of just being happy, which is also a thing. Buffering. Is it buffering? No. Nate should aim for kilometers, less distance. You're talking about life like it's a drug. It is. I'm proud I didn't use drugs or alcohol to make me feel better or dull, forget the pain. I don't think I'm better than others. It was just a personal goal. That's good. That is like being able to say I didn't spiral in the way that I could have spiraled before. This is very good. This can be a big problem if they don't explore it properly. What seeing goals as the only thing, focusing on your goals instead of your processes, or like your achievements instead of every day. Is that what you're saying, Hydra? Yeah, maybe it was buffering around that side. But why not the world revolves? But why not the world revolves around me and should do what I want it to? Exactly, Sparkles. I don't know what the hell is wrong, but you know what? We're just gonna have to do it ourselves. The world doesn't know what to do. So it restricts your satisfaction. Systems first mentality. So we had the goals first mentality. The systems first mentality makes you love the process, not the product, which I really like. That, you know, that I said about the self-help books and their bumper stickers. It's for real. It's true. Love the process, not the product. It's great. Satisfaction whenever the system is running. You get satisfied because you're like, oh, look, I did the thing. Oh, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the things. I'm doing all the things. It's not I did the thing. I'm doing. I'm being. The system is running. So you get satisfaction for just being. Imagine that. That's quite insane. Many forms of success, not just the first vision. So yes, exactly. Your goals, I suppose you could pretend. You could think of this as breaking your systems into tiny little goals. Okay, so like, oh, my system, the system of getting to my goal of a tidy apartment is making the goal to throw away the trash every day instead of but now we'll even go even further into that system. You can say something is a goal, but if you really do think of this result all the time, this outcome, you're not going to grasp fully the satisfaction and the happiness. It's a trap. It's a trap as well. Where should I pop the link to Modest Mouse The View in the Discord? Perfect song for this, in my opinion. you can, there is a section called music like this in the Discord. We had to have it. We had to have a pun there. Grass is always green on the outside. The either or. Okay, so satisfaction whenever the system is running. So lovely, really. Okay, then problem 4, goals are at odds with long-term progress. Now explain that. They're at odds with long-term. Reverting to old habits after achieving a goal. That's true. That's what yo-yo dieting is. People just like, okay, cool, I lost my whatever pounds. Okay, cool, now I'll just go back down to my old. Yeah, I literally did that. I achieved I've done that as well, where you've just like, oh, I've achieved enough for today, and you just, it's true. So you can get to that point and then go, cool, I'm done. I'll just, there's a trap of you reward yourself with rest, and then you're like, shit, and you just get lazy afterwards. And I say you, I'm referring to myself. It's that, I've rewarded myself with some rest, but then, oh wait, now I've just become lazy. I've fallen straight into my old habits. It doesn't work. Goal, win the game. So your goal is, a goal, if we want to talk about, what a goal is, it would be an example, win the game, but the system is keep playing the game. It makes sense. With a goal, it's like, oh, your game finishes. And then what? No, now you got to find another game. You got, it just doesn't work when, rather, it makes more sense. Existence, living as a human, it makes way more sense to keep playing, to make yourself happy just existing. So achievement unlocked existence. Yes, we're trying to make just existing satisfactory. Okay. And then it does obviously get bigger, and the results get bigger, which is what we spoke about earlier there. So yeah, from the book directly, ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress. If we're talking about another bumper sticker, here you go. Commitment to the process that will determine your progress. So just that is something that's happening in my mind right now, is I keep going, okay, it's a process. It's a process. So, but the thing is, you do need to commit to that process. So yes, I'm using that to forgive myself, but I do need to actually commit to the process. So we need to do that, and we're in it. This is the process, boys and girls. Let's go. So this is his introduction, a system of atomic habits. So he's saying, cool, so we want to go from goal focus to system focus, right? That's what we wanted to make sure we can understand. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Another bumper sticker. It makes sense. I have all these massive goals, but I fall to the level of my system. I fall to, and what we're going to go into in the fundamentals chapters is the systems go very deep. The flaws that are in your system are very deep. They're unconscious, non-conscious. What did Pandrew say? Reward yourself with amphetamines. They will keep you going. No, don't do that. Habits forming is part of a larger system. So once you've created your habits, it becomes a larger system. The larger system then supports you, and then you do get these big breakthrough goals, and we do get to we get over the plateau of the valley of disappointment and the plateau of results. So what do we call it? The plateau of where is it? Plateau. The plateau of what's a name Majiggy. Okay, that's it. That's exactly it. The plateau of latent potential. We have to break that. Okay. So we do that by forming habits, and then our larger system. Yes, we understand the exponentialness. So that brings us back to the name of the book, Atomic Habits, a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. So while it's very hard to keep remembering that this is going to start with the trash bags, boys, because it's like you just want to be perfect. You just want everything to be great. You're like, yes, let's go. But it's like, wait, it's going to start with the trash bags. And Shinsia, you failed at the trash bags last week. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to continue? Let's do it. Hey, Nico, I see you there. Okay. So that is the first chapter of the fundamentals, the surprising power of it. Now it's sorry, when we go into the first law, this is not how he builds. He's talking about why we need powerful atomic habits. Nico, by the way, hold on, Nico. If I close this, I'm going to close this here. I'm going to click this here. Can you open that on your end where you see your mind map? Can you open that? Can you click here and make it expand by yourself? Kitty, how do you feel about the phrase "pet a cat" is now a Nazi? Oh, it's a Nazi dog whistle because of Jordan Peterson. I say fuck you, pet a cat. And actually, you know what? No, hold on. In South Africa, we say pat. So that's what I will say. Now get your grammar right. You don't pet cats, you pat cats. Pat them on the head. You don't pet them. I only say pet because I understand the Americans. Anyway. Freaking Nazis. Anyway, Nico, if you can, let me know if you can open this bit. Because earlier on, I was outside of my sign-in, and I could not, on the view only link, I couldn't open it. You can do. Okay, that's great. Because having this open is, it just wasn't working for me. Maybe it's because you logged in. Maybe because I wasn't logged in before. I didn't have a login. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about how our habits shape our identity and vice versa. So he's going to say how it happens and then why that matters. So it shapes our identity and vice. Pat a cat. Yes, you pat. Like you pat a person on the head. I don't pet people. Okay. Cool. So let's get here. Look at this, boys and girls. Difficult to move beyond. It's difficult to move beyond a few days and a burst of motivation. That's literally what happened to me. Literally what happened to me. Literally me. With the trash. I want to change your format here. You are commentary. So yeah. Copy style. You don't even pet Daisy. No, I pet Daisy. I give her loves. Okay. Literally me with the trash. Okay. So that's literally me with the trash. Difficult. It was difficult to move beyond a few days and that burst of motivation because it was like, yay, we're reading Atomic Habits. We're doing the thing. We're changing our lives. We're, yay, throw the trash out. Weekend. Okay. So it went from reasonable to a hassle. Once habits are established, they stick around. And that includes the bad ones. So the bad habits that I have, they stuck around a long time. Okay, I know them. And part of this session is we write down our habits. No, I'm joking. I just wanted to be a brat. Beat a cat. I'll kill you. Sparkles. I've returned to remind my shift aces you like and subscribe. And eat your veggies. Thank you, Carl. That's very important. Achieve your goals by liking and subscribing. Be like me and ignore the V. Ignore V? Never ignore V. Okay. Why is changing habits so difficult? Well, we told you that. But the thing that we've discovered is we try to change the wrong thing and we try to change in the wrong way. So that's what he's showing us. Why it's difficult. We try to change the wrong thing. So did I try to change the wrong thing? Because I wanted to do the No, I didn't try to. I think I was trying to change the right thing with the trash, right? But I was changing in the wrong way. So I'm going to say here, I think I was changing in the wrong way. Literally me with the trash. Okay. So what happens? He now has 3 layers of behavior change. He talks about where we can change. Okay. Well, where we exact change and what actually where the change can occur and then what happens on what layer. So he discusses 3 layers of behavior change: outcomes level, processes level, and identity level. So you can already understand, oh, okay, I think the trick is to be aware of the mind trying to take the easy route. Oh, Nico, you've already read the book, boy. I think the trick is to be aware of the mind trying to take the easy route and berate it when it's trying to stray you off the path. Okay, berate it. I'm not too sure about the berating, but that is for real. Later on in the chapter, you will see in the chapters. Actually, when we get to the laws, you will see it makes sense. Okay, so we are looking at the 3 laws of behavior change. We have 3 layers of behavior change. Sorry, we have layer 1. Change in your outcomes. So we can go and have the change in our outcomes. So here's examples. There are the outcomes, i.e. results, right? So, okay, if we want our results, we want our losing weight, we want to win our championship, we want to publish our book. So it's the same sort of examples he used in the earlier chapter. Obviously associated with goals. And yes, that's what we were talking about. We're talking about all the pitfalls that come with just focusing on the goal, right? First, the pitfall of, okay, well, we can't even see that we're losing weight until it takes forever. We've already fallen out of our losing weight journey. Oh, wait, we've lost the weight, but then we started eating once we achieved that goal. We ate how we used to eat before. All of those pitfalls of being focused on just the results, that slows us down or takes away from our ability to actually achieve as much as we have potential to. Like, you might achieve those goals, but your thinking will still not be as easy as it could be. Your movement through life is still difficult, even if you have lost that weight. It's just not optimal. So associated with goals, yes. So I've what's the name? I've highlighted this. It's what you get. That is the very much, it makes sense. Changing your outcomes is changing what you get, right? Cool. Now let's go layer 2. So we've got the layer 1, outcomes. So that's on the outside. Whoopsie. Change in your processes associated with habits and systems, which is obviously what he was talking about, where we've got to do systems focused or process focused change, right? That's for sure. It makes sense. Decluttering your desk. Example, starting your meditation progress, new routine at gym. So what I'm going to do is taking out the trash more regularly. Okay, there's my little one, right? It's all associated with habits and systems. Cool, that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so it's what you do. Cool, but that's what I was wanting to do. That's where I wanted the change. That's where I thought of the change, right? Okay, do it there. No, change in your identity. That is the deep change. What is this? The deepest change. Changing beliefs. It changes beliefs about the world, about yourself, about others. So all of that. That's where the biggest and best change and the most meaningful change can happen. And it's what you believe. So let's look at all of that. We've got the layer 1 is what you get, which is outcomes. Processes is what you do. And identity, what you believe. So it follows that if you change something on the deepest level, then the outcomes come more easily, right? I was trying to change my processes, yes, but the what I believe, that, and we'll see that even more detail when we go into how the brain works. We have a troll named Pat. You have a troll named Pat? This book was meh. Oh well, that's sad. The Growling Arachnid. Which one book is better? Did you read The Power of Habit? Or one of those? I'm not ready yet, but I want to. Berating sometimes works for me. Well, if we go back to the previous chapters, you should know that we can get into a bad thought loop, Nico. So berating yourself could, as long as you stop at the berating, you go, okay, hey, stop that. And then you continue. You don't sit and berate, because that, for me, that's what happens to me. Oh, you're horrible. Oh, look at you, failure. Da, da, da. I can go forever just giving myself shit, and that will just destroy you. So berating, not very far. Don't go very far with the berating. Atomic Habits. Although I would recommend the concepts are new to you. Atomic. What? Hi, Multi. This book was meant. Atomic Habits is what I'm. That's a value statement. Oh, this book was meant. It's just so. Which are you enjoying? Well, either way, it's not. Yeah, the book is enjoyable because the concepts are. It's great. I just like the way that he's putting them together. I'm going through a midlife crisis, so it's hard not to get down on myself. Oh yeah, no. And you know what? Keep that in mind. That message that you just sent there. Keep that in mind for just now, because we'll get into the identity of it all. Okay, so all levels of change are useful, but the problem occurs in the direction of change. So here we go. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay, so we need to focus on when we focus on what we want to achieve, it's outcome. Our habits are based on outcomes. So you see the direction of change is inward. So it's like, okay, cool. This is my focus. My outcome-based habit is what I'm from here inwards. So when I do my outward changes, then the inward's going to change. It's very difficult to penetrate that. But identity-based habits, on the other hand, they are much more powerful because they are from the identity. They are from a deeper level. They push out. You can actually see. I think you can see it properly, right? Cool. So here's an example. Somebody, okay, who smokes here? You guys smoke? I don't smoke. But one of the examples could be if you are also trying to not drink as much. I unfortunately have the bias due to being exposed to similar concepts beforehand through various philosophy texts. Yeah, you know what? The philosophy texts and things like that, the deeper thinking about it, can actually make it not less accessible, but make it less applicable. Not practical. That's why self-help books draw on philosophy, and that's one thing he did explain in the introduction and things like that, is that he's drawing on these old fields. This is not new information. He very much he knows that it's not new information, but it's because they draw on all of these things and make it all very simple and practice and give it practice. That's what makes these books change people's lives, if it does. I have an addiction to sugar. Oh, so do I. I have an addiction to sugar and, well, yeah, just sugar and alcohol, I suppose. You vape? Okay. Well, you know what? It's the point is there is a habit every one of us has that we just don't like. Okay. Even if it's not every day that we do a certain thing, there's a habit we have. So the cigarette example is one of the best because it just makes sense from a habit point of view. People understand already these cravings and things like that. Cigarettes quitting is very difficult. So somebody is offered a cigarette and they say no, but there's two different ways that these people could say no. We have someone who says, no, I'm trying to quit. Both of them had said no, right? Both of them refuse. One says, I'm trying to quit. One says, I'm not a smoker. Both have said no, but there's a difference between the two. The person who's trying to quit still believes they're a smoker, trying to be what they're not. I know it's very simple language. It's very subtle, whatever. But it is, and yes, it's just the way a person has voiced something. Even them saying, I am not a smoker, this person can have the same thought in their head trying to quit and say, I'm not a smoker. But that just means that they haven't, that identity hasn't solidified within them. But the point is, this is just illustrating a different kind of thinking. And yes, when you do change the way things are worded, You are changing the way you think. That is why Jordan Peterson was so much against compelled speech, because you are compelling people to think in a certain way. So what he's talking about here is trying to quit. Is there's no identity involved there. The identity that is there is I am trying to quit. I'm trying to be something I'm not, or I'm trying to stop being what I am. Whereas this, I'm not a smoker. It was something I remember. I just remember someone was talking about. In pop culture, pop psychology articles, there was like, when you are trying to stop drinking, one of the things people have told me to do is, oh, I'm not a drinker. It's the same thing. I'm not a smoker. You have to say, I don't drink, or I don't eat chocolate. I don't do this. I don't do that. That is a solid statement of fact. So I don't eat meat. Those sort of things, those sort of statements are identity statements, as opposed to I try not to. Okay. So yes, of course, just saying things doesn't make them so, for sure. But this is just the way that you think of it. So they are what they want to be, a non-smoker. And look, in them saying no, both of them have said no over here. So if we just think of the concept of I took out the trash. Functionally, I did the thing that the trash taker does. I did the thing that the tidy person does. But I'm still trying. I'm not actually the tidy person yet. So that's the difference. The first option doesn't answer the question. The answer directly does. I'm not a smoker is saying literally no. Yeah. Trying to quit is not even saying no. It's like, well, they could. The point is, in this example, the person says no. Both of them say no. I'm trying to quit. No, thank you. I'm trying to quit. No, thank you. I'm not a smoker. Those are two different statements. So example of outcome focus. There's an example. For example, so this is now outcome focus. So like an outcome-based habit. I want to be skinny, my outcome, so I stick to the diet process. Cool. And then I get to the skinny, and that's it. And we've done my goal thing. But there's no consideration when we think of this. There's no consideration of beliefs behind the goals and processes. Of course, we're not going to think ourselves thin. There's a lot more to it. But you do need to change the thinking that underlies you eating, right? Of course, that's going to have to be a thing. So but when we say these things to ourselves, I want to be skinny, so I'm going to stick to my diet. We don't really think. It's again with the goals focus thing of like, okay, I'm going to do this, which is also the goals measurable, right? Okay, I've got a goal and it's measurable and it's definable. So I can say what I'm going to do to achieve my goal, but we don't think about the thoughts, all the things that actually get in our way when we are when we're trying to change. So that is what actually he speaks about here, which is kind of like shit. Yeah, okay. For a lot of people, there's an old identity that can sabotage your plans, because this thing of this belief that you have about yourself, it's incongruent when you go and do something different. So it's as if you've got this other person inside you trying to sabotage your plans. Obviously, it's not conscious, but it's there. So yeah, there are belief systems behind each action. So he discusses this. So now that's the foundation that we're talking about, the belief system behind all of your actions. And obviously, if we're going to change the actions we want to change, look, we can change the actions. I changed the actions a couple times, but the beliefs didn't change, so everything fell apart. Okay, so here we go. Systems. So he does this example of democracy and dictatorship. I'm sure we can get a bit more detail, but it's on the surface, this is it. So we got the system of democracy and dictatorship. Okay, each system has there's beliefs behind each sort of system in action. Democracy, okay, it's founded on the belief in freedom, majority rule, and social equality. Just leave it at that. Let's not talk about that. Okay, and action, voting is possible. So because of those beliefs, we are able to vote. Okay. Then founded on absolute authority, dictatorship founded on absolute authority and strict obedience. Yeah. And there's no voting in that because of the beliefs. So what is possible is defined by beliefs that founded these systems. Would say less, do more explain the concept you're demonstrating, or no? Say less, do more. It can fit, but I wouldn't say it is the concept. It would fit. It makes sense. Yes, say less. Actually, at some point later on in the chapters, we are going to say more to do more. So it's both. You need the identity. You need the thinking to change with the action, because say less, do more. I can do more, but then I'll end up doing less because I fall out of my habits. I can talk about what I want to do as much as I want, for sure. You know what? At the end of the day, what you're saying here, Arachnid, still applies, because we are having the say, and I still have to go and do, but there's this ongoing conversation within my head that I'm not that we're talking about not having. Yeah, we're talking about not thinking about the systems underneath all of our habits. So that's what he's talking about. I hope that makes sense at all. Andrew, I don't understand. Reminds me of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't see myself as a cannibal. I see myself as a woodworker who eats people sometimes. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Okay, same for individuals, organizations, and societies. So behavior that is incongruent with the self will not last. It's another, actually, I need to get our quote format. I need to remember to breathe. Where's Carl? Carl's supposed to tell me how to breathe. When I first started streaming, Carl had to tell me to breathe. Okay. Where are we? Okay, yeah. Behaviors that are incongruent with the self will not last. So here, that is the quote. Hello, Galente. We are continue. Kale is on a smoke break. Kale, don't be smoking. Okay, Sparkles, you'll tell me to breathe, right? Let's get into the habit of breathing. Okay, cool. So let me just hold on. I want to copy this style so that this continues. Okay. Behavior that is incongruent with the self will not last. That's the central concept that he's saying. So if there is a self within us that hasn't accepted this change, or hasn't really truly taken a certain change to heart, it's not going to last. So we need our habits to penetrate to the identity level. That's basically it. So for example, he has, money. If you have your you want to have money, you need to turn from a consumer into a creator. You can't just be a consumer and expect things to change. Health as well, you have to you need to stop preferring comfort over accomplishment. So there's certain things you have to change about your beliefs. So like, if I value my comfort more than anything, then I'm not going to value the accomplishment. So I'm not going to really care about my health. So those are the two examples he does. Oxygen is a carcinogen. Yeah, because we just land up. I apologize. It feels like I'm putting you on trial for attempting to explain. I'll excuse myself to silence if I feel it's counterintuitive to your goals. No. Please just say whatever you want. It may seem like I get derailed. You're derailing me. I derail myself. So it has nothing. Even if you didn't chat, I would still derail myself. I often do. So please, I love your commentary. Please keep continuing. Not true. I'm a consumer of monies. But you need to create money. If you're going to consume more than you can create, it's a problem. I'm not joshing you. Oh, he's joshing. Yes, he is joshing you. Okay. So you can't make lasting change. So the whole idea is that, yeah, cool, you can have these outer changes of doing the freaking trash, but then they're going to drop off. They're not going to stick around. And the bad habits, they stick around a lot easier. Okay. Anyway, can't make lasting change if you never change the underlying beliefs that led to the past behavior. Makes sense, right? Why did I have behavior like that in my previous states? Why was I like that? Okay, if we don't change that, then we're going to just revert to the same behavior or just a different yet similarly destructive behavior. Okay, contact. So what we're changing your goals and plans, but not yourself. So that's the whole idea. I changed my goal and my plan, but I didn't change myself. Okay, I didn't change myself into a person who throws out the trash daily. I didn't do that. I was a person who's trying to put out the trash daily. Not just the person that needs to, that I'm the kind of person that's what I do. Okay, it's the example. The example we're using is the trash example because I'm trash. So we're just going to use that. So that's exactly what happened. I think I'm just going to copy paste. Literally me with the trash is going to come back here. Literally me with the trash. Okay. So this example he used, there was a person he knew that would bite their nails. And so this is a different kind of change of belief. It's not that he was like, I'm no longer a nail biter. He didn't say that to himself, but he actually started taking pride in taking care of his fingernails. And that's the kind of person he is. That okay, now I'm the kind of guy that goes to get manicures and care about my nails. So I'm going to stop biting them, and I'm going to. He changed that about himself. He could have been this nail biting person for the rest of his life, but he didn't. So yeah, the way that we think about things is we need to stop wanting to be a certain person, and we actually need to be that person. So I want to be the trash person, right? Person who takes the trash out daily, not every second day or third day. I don't want to have more than one bag to put down the trash thing. Okay, actually, it should be two because the one's recycling and the one's like general waste. So, yeah, I don't want, at least it should only be two. And it should probably only be the cat litter basically every day. It shouldn't be so much trash. There's a lot that goes into this whole trash idea. But the point is, I want to be a certain person. I want to be that person. All I was thinking was wanting in this past week. All I did is I wanted, but it didn't change. Okay, so I didn't change that. I'm not that person yet. So that's what happened. That's why I fell off. Okay, improvements must become part of who you are. So my improvement must be that's just a thing. That is the thing about me, that I do this thing. I know it's silly, but it's just I'm the kind of person that does X. That's the thing. I want to be a trash person. Exactly. Let's all strive to be trash people. Exactly. Okay. So, the goal. Okay. So look. I love the way that he did this. Okay. And this is another example of me using all of the examples that he put in the book. Not necessary, but I like having them in the diagram because it's a nice flow. You take, okay, this is what you do. Okay. So we have a goal. My goal is reading a book. What do I need to do for that? I need to become a reader. I'm a reader. I read. Okay? That's the whole thing. Running a marathon. Become a runner. Learning an instrument. Become a musician. So that's actually, you have to be the thing. Okay? I know it seems too hopeful and too easy when you put it this way. Because it's not as easy as literally changing your sentence structure and your nouns and whatever. You do have to change your thinking, which is very difficult because a lot of the changes, as we will see later on in the book, are things that you are not even thinking about consciously. So that is the difficulty comes there. But the point is, he's trying to make us see things differently. He's trying to make us say, okay, you have to think about becoming the thing you've been wanting to be. Wish I knew how to read. Cowardly, what? Cowardly lion, tiger bear, and absolutely tip 420 saying, Kitty, you are not trash. You and your show are blessed from on high. Thank you very much, cowardly lion, man, bear, pig, tiger. I wish I knew how to read. You know what? It's okay. You know, you can write at least. While essential to human life, aspects of oxygen may promote cancer. Well, existing promotes cancer. So I would say yes, oxygen is a carcinogen. Okay. Oxidizing. I don't know. I'm talking shit. Okay. What you do is then indicate. Okay, so let's get back to the copy style. Axel, thank you for taking a shit while I'm doing my stream. I really appreciate it. This was quite. I put this in here because it's funny because I haven't come across somebody using the word non-conscious. So anyway, what you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or non-consciously. So usually you would expect someone to say, unconsciously, but he used the word non-consciously, and yes, he gave us a footnote, and I put the footnote in here, but that's because it was just fascinating to me, and it's my diagram. So, okay, both processes we can never assess. So a non-conscious, he uses the word non-conscious instead of unconscious to refer to both processes we can never access, as in like properly unconscious. Ugh. And processes we can access but don't always have focus on. So anything you're not consciously thinking about. So I could, which comes later, we're getting there slowly. We get to the we can be conscious of our behavior and the thoughts that are going on, but a lot of our autopilot we let it slide. We don't consciously do it. So he's talking about non-consciously. It can be both things you can access with a little bit more focus, and things you can't. So that is part of why it's so easy to fall back into bad habits, because the bad habits all took root unconsciously. You didn't go, I need to do this bad habit. It just all went. Okay. What? I know that's not Zero Fox's real picture, but every chat he does, I picture him with that face and little attitude. I know it. I know. I think of him with that face too. A fascinating outcome of what the Bible repeatedly instills is an idea that we as human cannot be good itself. Only God is good. Therefore, it tends to force believers to remind ourselves that we can't claim we are good people, and doing so is foolish and heresy. We can't claim to be good. But then do we now need to sit and think about how bad we are? Because that's one trap that religious thought can get us into. Like, I am sin. And then if you have this way of just hating yourself, that really feeds into it. We are known by the fruit of our works. Did you study or did you read a lot of psychology? Oh, I studied psych. I did an honors in psych, so I did postgraduate psych. I was supposed to be a psychologist, but I didn't do that. That's so unfair. Bad habits get to sneak in, but you need to force a good habit. I know, right? Is that right, Nico? I'm putting that here. Where is this? I like that. I'm going to put that as part of a note here. Wait, I'll put that here in the double-edged sword of habit formation. I'm gonna get this text. I'm gonna have to type it. God damn it. StreamYard's in its lack of selectability because it's trying to show the text. Come, wake up. Xmind. Xmind. Hello? Hello? No. I'm waiting. Okay. You know your things. Oh, I love my things. Thanks, multi-topic. I think of a lot of psychology students going to it. Yeah, we do. There's a lot of psych students that go into advertising. A lot of people actually that had other interests. Not many people seemed, okay, the people that I work with, they went into advertising. That's what they wanted to do. But a lot of people that I have experienced, that was not their first plan. They just went into advertising because they landed up being good at it. So. Oh, come on, I reloaded your ass. Okay, I think I might have to restart. It is frozen. It's frozen. Okay, we have to come back here. Okay, where are we? Okay, yeah. Just because I was trying to put Nico's chat in. Okay, so identity change can work against you, but through allegiance to an old identity. So one of these cool examples, my dad was a history major and went into car insurance and claims adjuster. Yeah, you see, technical difficulties. It's not a kiddie stream without technical difficulties. You broke it. Yes, actually, Nico broke it, not me. Sparkles, blame him. Have you tried turning it off? I did. We turned it off, guys. Okay, so I do want to. I'm gonna pin Nico's chat. I love that. That's so unfair. Okay. So allegiance to an old identity. So what we mean by allegiance to an old identity, and this comes into it will relate to me, but also Sparkles. You were talking about I'm having a midlife crisis, saying that, right? So here's the I'm statements. I am terrible with directions. So therefore, I've just accepted this about myself, and I'm just going to be terrible with directions for the rest of my life. These are examples from the book, but they apply to me. So terrible with directions, not a morning person. Oh my God, it applies to me. Terrible with names. Oh my God, it's me. Always late. It's me. Horrible at math. Okay, I'm not horrible at math, but I'm not good at it either. So you have these things that you're just like, well, there we go. That's it. I've decided that that's what I am. I'm not going to actually take actions to be a different person. So yes, there are lots of things about ourselves that we accept, that we're like, oh, well, I'm just like that, so it's fine. But if we want to change, we're going to have to change those things. So if you're okay with being terrible with directions, fine. Be okay with it. That's not. If that's the only thing that's wrong with you in your life, good. Good for you, honestly. But he's just talking about these beliefs that we kind of just stagnate ourselves on. We just like, oh, I'm bad with this, so I'm not even going to try to be different. Oh, I'm not a morning person, so I'm not even going to try. I've decided that that's it, and that stops it. It stops it right in its tracks. And this kind of also just reminded me, I know this is so silly, but we are what we do. And the first time I went on Sitch and Adam, they put my name there and said YouTuber. And I was like, I'm not a fucking YouTuber. And it's like, oh, wait, I YouTube. Yes, I do. I go on YouTube, so I'm a YouTuber. That is it. So identity, yes, what you do does identify you. That's the way it is. So I just thought about that. You get stuck. Yeah, you get stuck. You just decide, well, this is it. Cool. Literally me. What's this? Sorry, I do that sometimes. You break stuff? Yeah. Let's berate Nico. Okay. So let's also please tell me I have I don't have paste style. I need to get the copy style and paste it here. Okay, becoming the best version of yourself. This is another bumper sticker. Ooh, Xmind is upset with me. Let me just close some things. Maybe this will help. Nico says that he can still see the rest of the stuff. So he can still open that up if he wants to go and see this over here. Okay, so let's go back down. Oh, it's glorious. I love seeing this. This is beautiful. Okay, anyway. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and upgrade and expand your identity, which is part of if we're talking, going back to like the psychology that I did do, there's all these models of development that started from Freud all the way up, up to cognitive behavioral sort of development models and things like that. But there was the idea that, okay, we all just develop into this person, and once we've reached adulthood, we've matured, and that's our personality, and that's it. Of course, that there are things about us that we can't change. It makes sense, but sorry, but we change. We don't stagnate as humans. We are always learning and always growing up, always development. That's what I loved about developmental psychology. Is yes, there are these fixed sort of phases that people identified, but you are never truly just stuck. I mean, there are parts of us that become stuck, but as we go through life, we change. So I like that idea of continuously editing yourself. That doesn't mean that now you can't be yourself. You now need to be a sort of a person without an identity. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about just upgrading, editing all the time. Okay. Thanks, Nico. Have a good rest of stream. Got to watch a movie before my podcast. It's on my watch later playlist. I found your stream very fun. I like it. A lot of psychology and self-improvement. Thanks, Multi. Multi-Topic and I will be talking in September. So we'll be, I and a whole bunch of people. We do lots of talking. And I was invited. So I'm very excited. Multi-Topic. Subscribe. Go and do that. Unfortunately, philosophy doctorates are in the same boat as history. I'm okay with directions if you don't use words like north, south, east, or west. Yeah, exactly. If you use landmarks, I'm good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the question there, okay, that's not how it was written in the book, but how is this formed even? So is he saying we are blank slates? That's another thing of development. No. Okay. Initially, there was the idea. I despise the dogmatism that holds us back. Well, that was actually one thing that I did start to experience in psychology, because I wanted to go into academics, and you had to do what the faculty wanted you to do, and I didn't like that. So it's one of those fields that is it does have dogma in it. How is all this formed even? So okay, cool. So if what we do is who we are, what came first? What formed our behaviors then? Like, because our beliefs inform our behaviors and our behaviors inform our beliefs, right? It makes sense. But then what came first? So of course he's not saying it's a blank slate thing. So, and then he's also saying what his book is going to do is explain how can we emphasize new aspects of ourselves and get rid of old bad pieces of ourselves. Okay, so if that's what we've decided, that yes, our habits, our actions influence our identity, and the deepest change that we can make is the best habits we can make come from beliefs, stem from beliefs. Cool. What created where we are currently before we read the book? The chicken. Yeah. Okay. So the 2-step process, you're changing your identity. Cool. So there's just 2 steps, guys. We can just change who we are. I'm just going to do the copy style. Also, paste style. Copy style. Paste style. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experience. So that, to me, I was like, oh, bro, is bro coming around here and being like, it's a blank slate? Because we know very much we are not blank slates. Sorry for you. That's not how it works. He's not saying that. Some qualities are fixed. But your view of them is determined by experiences. So that I can understand. That makes sense. Okay. We know very much that that your experiences shape your beliefs and so on. But it's not as simple as, oh, well, if you're just conditioned into this, then you'll just, gender doesn't exist. It's just a conditioning. It's like, no, literally, it is based all the way down in your biology. Just an example of that kind of reasoning. Sorry, I went off. You see, don't even need any help, Arachnid. I wanted to help people and understand my ex-family, so I have done a lot of self-study and certified courses online, a few in person, but no college, sadly. That doesn't matter. These days especially, it does not matter. The knowledge is what matters. So, but I suppose no college, what's sad about that is just the experience not going to. Okay. So let's go into I love this. This was not necessary. I could have left this out. It's not that important, but I like words. Okay, so identity is based on the Latin words ascetitas, being, and identidin, repeatedly. So it is your state of repeated beingness. So if you do be doing a thing repeatedly, that's who you are. So it makes sense. But then he also talked about actions as proof. So what he means by actions as proof, when we take certain actions in life, it gives us or our identity proof of it's. If we do a thing, it's proof. Oh, I write every day. I am a writer. There's proof that I'm a writer. So it's a proof of this belief. Okay, so he's just talking about how, once again, our beliefs influence our habits influence our beliefs. Habits aren't the only actions that influence identity, but their frequency makes them important. So, cool, if I paint a painting once, cool, I'm not really a painter. I've painted, I've done a painting. I'm not a painter, I'm not an artist. If I do it regularly, I can at least say I'm an artist. Can I say I'm a guitarist? No, I don't play guitar. I can. Ooh, buffering. Come. Relax, internet. Come on, internet. That's it. Come on, relax. Come. Good. That's a good internet. Okay. We are known by the fruits of our works. Exactly. Okay, it is exactly it. We're known by the fruit. But the thing is, if we focus what we spoke about earlier, if we focus only on those fruits, if we are only thinking about when that next fruit is going to happen, we can land up not being happy. So that is the thing. We came back. One derailed. Can you believe Hassan won an award for news? What? I have to disagree with Kitty here. It's not just the knowledge that matters. Well, sometimes knowledge can be damaging without proper understanding of them. Yes, for sure. And yes, in your courses and things, you are supposed to be tested so that your knowledge it is made clear that you've absorbed the knowledge the way. Yes, for sure. I understand completely. Duh. It's not like, okay, if you go and research how to be a surgeon, I'm going to be okay with you cutting me open. No, that's not what I mean. But with things like that, practical courses, practical like psychology, social, those sort of things that have less practical application, more thinking going on, that's important. So yes, I disagree with Kitty too. But what I mean is also just considering the quality of college education these days. I made it out just before it seemed to turn into shit. College used to be where you were taught to think, not what to think, how to think. That was the whole idea. I know it's everybody says the same thing, but it's true. He won a streamy for news. How did they choose who win? Subscriber numbers, I don't know. Yeah, it was a popularity poll, not an award based in ethics or quality. Yeah. If we are known by the fruit of our work, then I'm just shit. Well, yeah, exactly. So then what happens? If we just go, okay, well, I'm just shit, then we're not going to really think more. We're not going to do much. We're going to try and fail and then try and fail. And then so thinking a bit further than, or a bit deeper than just to that fruit, that goal, the growth of the vines is important. That's what he's trying to say. So, okay, so habits aren't the only actions that influence our identity, but their frequency makes it important. So that's, I mean, like if I painted painting once, I'm not really an artist. One of experience versus repeated. Okay, doesn't happen instantly. Yeah, because if I paint a painting, I'm not an artist instantly. Okay, you have to go bit by bit. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. That is a nice what's the name, bumper sticker we've got there. It makes sense. I like the idea. It's a vote. I like the idea of a vote, like, oh, well, this is a little thing over here that proves that I'm a good person. This is a thing over here that proves that I give a shit. This is a thing over here that means that I'm responsible. Tiny little bits of proof of me being the thing that I want to be. That's what you need. So he was talking about votes, right? In a system of democracy and things like that up there. Just think about votes that way, right? So here's his examples. Again, writing a page. Every time you write a page, you're becoming a writer. So the more you write a page, the more you become a writer. Practice the violin. The more you practice, the more you're a musician. I can play the guitar, but can I call myself a guitarist? No, because I'm not guitaring. I don't play guitar a lot. I don't practice it. So that you can't say that. Oh, start a workout. I'm an athlete. That's what I actually like. Just think about it. You know, Eric July, when he's like, be athletic. That's actually not, it's like him saying, be an athlete. Be athletic is quite a cool way of phrasing. It's an identity. It's a thing that you are then wanting to associate with yourself. I'm an athletic person. Be athletic. Not do athletic things. Like, no, be athletic. Be an athlete. So the more you work out, the more you can call yourself an athlete. Obviously, if I won't call myself an athlete now, but the more you do it, you can then say, hey, I'm more of an, okay, if I'm encourage people, I was a leader at that point. The more times that you do a thing, then you can say to yourself, yes, I am that kind of person. That's the major thing. These self-help books are repetitive, which really works for me because I repeat myself all the time. Like I said in the first section, I love to reword things to find new ways to say a certain thing because it just shows that you understand it. I know that it seems to show that I don't understand it, but no, I like being able to move things around and show its application. Really enjoying it. I'm a certified peer counselor and took side courses as part of it. That's cool. I did counseling, several counseling courses as well. But it's heavy stuff. So good to you. Good on you for doing that. That's really well done. Okay, I posted a clip. Interesting meme channel. It's highly relevant in the meme channel. Okay, well, we'll have a meme session tonight. But we got lots to get through. Yay! I haven't gone through it too quickly. Okay. So yeah, there's no single instance that's going to turn you into this person that you're going to be forever. Okay, you have to continue. That is why this is an example of why meaningful change does not require radical change. You actually need to change, and obviously there's such thing as radical change. Like, okay, if you're going to literally stop drinking wine or stop drinking, that's a big radical change because it's one that it's a very big change in your there's such thing. But meaningful change the change that has to occurs on a smaller level, but because it has such a knock-on effect, that's the deeper meaning of it. My God, just ignore what I just said because I just realized how it made no sense. Point is, he's saying it doesn't happen instantly. Meaningful change does not require radical change. It's one step at a time. It's literally Alcoholics Anonymous, one day at a time. That's it. It's the program. Cool. Okay, perfection. Because now, wait, does that mean that I can just I'll be perfect one day? Every party gets some votes in an election. That's quite interesting, because remember you said each action over here, each action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become, right? So each party will get a vote in an election, even the dumbass parties, right? So yeah, you're not gonna have this unanimous perfect election every time, but yes, you got to just win most of the time. That's all you got to do. Is just win most of the time. So I've got to be that person more than I'm the other person. I've got to be the trash person, the person that takes out the trash. I've got to be that person more than the person that doesn't take out the trash, so that I can then, on balance, be a person that takes out trash. Okay, on balance, be the thing. Cowardly, if you're fine with it, I have a Hobbesian view of choice. Why ought you be ashamed? Assuming you are, of course. See, even an attitude with that smile. Yeah, exactly. There's just so much attitude with this. Okay, so what are the 2 steps? You said there's 2 steps. Decide what type of person you want to be. Prove it to yourself with small wins. It seems very simple. I mean, it is simple until you go and try and do it. But deciding the person you want to be actually isn't that easy, because it's like, what do you mean? I want to be a better person. No, we usually know the goal. So we actually need to move backwards and say, okay, cool. What does that goal say about the person? Because again, it's the same thing of being focused on goals as opposed to being focused on processes. So we don't think about the person, the kind of person we need to be for a change to take place. So he's saying, no, go and think about that. Go and decide what type of person you want to be. And having these words in your head, the type of person that does this, the type of person, I am the type of person that takes the trash out every day. Okay? Who's the type of person that could get these outcomes? A person that takes out the trash every day is somebody who looks around and wants things to be clean and tidy, who doesn't like seeing packets on the floor. That's the kind of person. Okay, I know this example is very practical, but here he's got we will get into the further ones. But the thing is, I'm starting with tiny little things and seeing how they go. And it does get more specific going forward in the next chapter. Okay, small steps to reinforce the identity. So you go and you decide this is the kind of person, and then the little things that make me do it. Or I am a hygienic person. Or I'm good with names. I'm going to remember that person. Things like that. You've got to go and get the proof, go and get the votes for the kind of person that you want to be. But yeah, we just think about the goal usually. We don't think about what has to change deeper within us. And that creates a feedback loop. Hey, we're back to loops, guys. Habits feed identity. Identity feeds habits. We've already discussed this. But the outcome is not what drives the loop. So that's brought us all the way back to that beginning part where we were talking about it shouldn't be a goals-based focus. It must be a system-based focus. The actual system running, the satisfaction of the system running is what should drive this loop, this feedback loop of, I'm a writer because I wrote today. Okay, I'm going to write again tomorrow, and I'm a writer, and I'm a writer, and I'm a writer. Oh, I'm a writer. I need to write. And that's actually what comes in the next few chapters. Okay. So that was how habits shape your identity and vice versa, which makes sense. Identity is literally spoken about that. Let's close that off. And let's take a sip of water. I'm the type of person who drinks 48 Diet Cokes a week. Are you that person? Okay. Well, you are the person that drinks 48 Diet Cokes as opposed to 48 Coke Cokes. Okay, bye. What's this? I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Yes. To catch them is your real test. To train them is your cause. Sorry. I love Pokemon. Okay, so we've got that, right? We know that we have to change deeply in order to change our habits, and our habits need to change us deeply. It's all a cycle, but I want to get more practical. Sorry, that's great stuff. It's all good, but it's still not going to get the trash taken out. Okay, I've understood all of that, but I want practical things that I'm going to do with my brain. Okay, so let's go to the intro. Hey, Axel, are you playing, boy? Axel's playing with this. Go, boy. Go play. You see him. Okay. So now I've started to make intro sections. The intro section will be where we literally give him a little space to do his little stories. Okay, because that's how the structure of the chapters actually goes. Intro story, blah blah. Then he's got actual headings and concepts and whatever. And then there is a chapter summary. When you guys read the book, there's chapter summaries. And actually, what I have noticed is it's very well summarized, as well as my diagrams being well summarized. Because when we get to the chapter summaries, usually the chapter summary has a key sentence, and that key sentence has more often than not been the quote. Ah, hey, that's cats. That's cats. Hey, stop it. Axel, stop it. Hey, be a better person, Axel. Be the kind of cat that doesn't clock your sister. He's getting restless because he hasn't his dad is still asleep. Okay. So let's go to the intro. I love strawberry Dr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. Okay. What I love about this as well, cat experiments, and very gentle ones. Okay, I'm not going to read further into the studies because I don't want to know if there was any cruelty, but the point is Edwin Thorndike's experiments. He did experiments with cats in puzzle boxes. He would put them in a box that has like an escape hatch thing that they need to click a button to get out, or pull a lever to get out. All of that. So I think that it's a sign that this book will change my life because it's got cats in it. Anyway. Cats in puzzle boxes. I'm a cat in a puzzle box, and I'm just going to try out all the things until I can get out. So that's basically what happened. Puts the cats in these boxes. What they would initially do is they would try and just nuzzle and scratch and whatever, and then eventually they would find the lever next, and the lever would open, and then they would get to the reward. They would get to the food. So he would make them do this over and over again, and eventually the cats. The time that it took them to escape the boxes reduced to like a couple seconds. So it was from a minute and a half looking and trying and airing and then getting it. And then you put them back in the box after they've gotten their reward. And they just got better at it. And it became an automatic thing that they just knew where the lever's supposed to be. And then they get their reward. So that's the whole thing that informed the whole idea that informs the rest of this chapter. Cats in puzzle boxes. So association with levers and drawers. So they associated levers with opening the doors because they were pulling on things and pushing things. I think there was, if I'm not mistaken, there were different formats of the book. I mean, of the puzzles, and they began to know what to look for, and they would learn to do it. Okay. Eventually, the cats cut to the solution with fewer mistakes. So they started off with trial and error, and then it became an automatic thing. So how does this inform what we're talking about? I'm diagramming really hard, and I'm losing my breath. It's lunch with a K, Galente. Okay. So going into the brain stuff. Yay, brain stuff. Okay. Why your brain builds habits? That's a good question. It builds habits, and it builds bad ones, and it builds good ones. But we need to figure out why so that we can go on to the how of it and make it work for us. So what are habits? And he explains it to us. What are the habits? They are behavior repeated enough times to be automatic. Agreed. Are we in agreement of that? An example of a person he quotes: habits are simply reliable solutions to recurring problems in our environment. It makes sense. They are solutions to problems, but they are very reliable, so reliable to the fact that they become automatic to us. I just want to see if my paste style works. Oh, it was the wrong paste style. I want the text. Copy style. Paste. Okay, Axel. Okay. So what actually happens, like with the cats when they were doing trial and error, a choice that once required effort becomes automatic. So the trash, again, required a lot of effort. It is not an automatic thing. It wasn't automatic. I didn't get it to the automatic phase. Okay. So the required effort is still really high. I want to bring that down by making it automatic, right? It is real, not the lunk. Yes, you guys have just figured out that I don't think I even tasted that Dr. Pepper. Anyway, so the cats started off with trial and error, and that's how they eventually got to the automatic, right? So we have what actually happens in our lives is we explore until we find a reward. So we do stuff until we find some sort of reward, whether it's good in the long run or not. We rummage around, and then eventually we're going to find the answer. We're going to stumble onto something. One of the examples he uses is, you go for a walk because you're frustrated, because you're stressed, and you tried going for a walk, and then you realize, this calmed me down. So you found a reward there. And then you go and repeat that. You repeat that and turn it into a habit, and it actually becomes such an automatic thing, so that when you're stressed, you actually feel the need to go and walk more than you're not saying to yourself, I'm stressed, therefore I need to go and walk. It becomes an automatic thing. What? Sometimes I send food back because it's too Dr. Peppery, just to see what they change when they. Is that it? That's pretty funny. Is that some sort of? It's like a Rick and Morty level joke in my eyes. I tend to hate strawberry flavored products, but I love trying new things even more. So go and try it. Try it. I don't think I've tried. What's wrong with your Coke? It's not Dr. Peppery enough. Yes, pay attention. Get out of your habits of Dr. Peppery. Okay. Same thing as a habit. I'm in a habit of breathing shallowly. So if I have to put effort into breathing properly and diaphragmatically before I get into the automatic thing of breathing a bit deeper, just naturally. My rate of respiration is too high and it's not deep enough. But it requires conscious effort for me to do. Anyway, cognitive load. So the reason that your brain does habits is because of cognitive load. It's because you have limited resources when it comes to your attention. If you have to think about breathing, then you're not going to get much done. Okay, so the whole idea is to get to the point, to reduce the cognitive load. You need to make fewer decisions and the non-conscious. And you see he uses the word non-conscious again. Palm of tasks to the non-conscious. That's what we need to do. Excuse me, I think I moved something. There we go. Palm of tasks to the non-conscious. That's what you have to do with the cognitive load. That's why your brain creates habits. So one of the questions, which does come later on, I think we get into it in later chapters, about the bad things that can come from habitual things. But he touches on this and says, doesn't habit, that getting into the making everything a habit and everything automatic, doesn't that mean I'll be dull? And no, that's not how this works. You're making a false dichotomy. It's like, oh, well, isn't there too much routine? Oh, well, I'm in a habit of this. If I've got literally my bathroom breaks timed into the day, then I'm going to just be dull. It's like, no, what actually it does is it frees up space for other things. So the more habits you have that lock in your daily life, the more space your brain has, the more space your mind has to go and do creative thinking. So it is a false dichotomy when you're thinking of, oh, habits equals dullness. No, habits actually, it's not a choice between habits and freedom. Habits actually they give you freedom. They complement each other. Habits create freedom. So yes, they give you they sort out a lot of things. They put they put a lot of things on autopilot so that you can go and use your brain for other things. Which is, it's why your brain makes it. So sure, your brain does these things. It does autopilot things. We know this. Without you trying, it's doing it. Now we want to make it work for us, right? So we're going to look at the science. Science of how habits work. So there's 4 stages of habits, and this he does say comes from the Charles Duhigg. The mind resorts to heuristics. Exactly, Zerofax. The mind resorts to heuristics. I like that. I'm doing that, yeah. I'll put you Zerofax. I like it. Let's get our commentary block. Ta-da! Discipline is freedom. Yes. I'm going to put that here. Discipline is freedom. He doesn't what's the name? He actually doesn't quote that. Just quite funny. Discipline is freedom. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so let's go into the science of it all. So pick up where he left off. So what he talks about here about the power of habit, that's why I asked if people had read Power of Habits as well, is because this is part of that. But what he does is he's saying that he picks up where Charles left off and turns the stages into laws. So he's just building upon, like any other academic, really, just building upon ideas. Science of how habits works, 4 simple steps. So his 4 simple steps he explains to us. Okay, so we've got the diagram of cue, craving, response, reward. Makes sense. Okay, it's sort of got to do, we were introduced briefly to this in the introduction phase, talking about Pavlov and all of that. But I think it was cue response, cue reward response or something like that. He was this is the evolution. This model is the evolution of that Pavlov's one. Anyway, love, there are so many comment bubbles with the I need to take out the trash comment. Yeah, there's lots. Literally me and the trash is the comment that goes throughout the book. Literally me and the trash. Okay, so Q, we are going to use the trash as our example because it's the most illustrative example. Okay, it all started when I am a successful old woman. I will say to my niece, it all started with the trash. And that's what I'm going to tell her. It started with me taking out the trash, Sophia. Oh. Anyway. Okay, so Q. It starts with the Q. It's the predictor of the reward, the locator of the reward. So there is something that tells us that there is a reward to be had. That's the Q. Cool. Then we have a craving. We are looking for that reward. We when we are near, when we see the Q, it is triggered. The craving is triggered. Makes sense. Linked to desire for change of state. It's different for everyone. Our cravings are different. The cues that we have, the cravings we get from different cues are different. Yeah, everything is different between individuals, okay? I don't need to explain it in any other way. Okay, it's what it says. Different for everyone. She's angry at you, at herself, not you. Okay. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions of the observer are what transform a cue into a craving. So that's why it changes for people. It changes per observer. Okay. Yeah. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions of an observer are what transform a cue into a craving. Right? Makes sense. That's why it's different for everyone. Okay. So example, of course, when I think of craving, okay, yes, I think of women and their weird pregnancy cravings, but also smoking. There's like, I've seen my husband go without cigarettes and the craving gets very bad. In South Africa during COVID, they banned cigarettes because they were that stupid. So yes, he went without cigarettes for a while. It was not nice. Okay, the craving was bad. Yes, there was the withdrawals and stuff, but yeah, we're talking craving. So when really think about imagine craving success, like that you just you can't help but find success. That's what we're trying to harness here. Okay, so what happens? It is linked linked to a desire for change of state. So it's not that you're like, okay, I crave brushing my teeth. I crave the feeling of having a clean mouth after I've slept. When I wake up in the morning, I don't like feeling that bleh. I want to clean my mouth, so I'm going to brush my teeth. It's the craving, right? But the state that I wanted to change is from a dirty, ugly mouth to clean mouth, right? Ban cigarettes. Yes, they banned cigarettes. They banned the sale of cigarettes in South Africa and open-toe shoes. Not fried chicken, and roast chicken. And they did a whole bunch of things. You know what? South Africa is a freaking, it's funny. Okay. Anyway, cool. Response. So what's a response? So we get our craving. Cool. The craving is a feeling and a desire for change in state. Response is the thought or action. So we do a thing. We take the action, or we have the thoughts. We want to respond. Literally, it's a response to the craving. Depends on motivation level and difficulty, friction. So he's saying the fact that whether we just have a thought or we actually take an action, it depends on the level of difficulty of taking this action. How deep is this craving? Okay, I don't really have right now. I have a craving for. Imagine I'm a smoker. I'm not a smoker, but if I have this. I'm not a smoker. I have no craving for a smoke. So it's very easy for me not to smoke. But if I was a smoker and I had a very high craving, it would be very easy for me to smoke. Yes? Makes sense. It also requires real capability. So you can't be like craving to do a thing that you are incapable of doing. Okay, so just remember that. Cool, so reward. Satisfaction, we get the satisfaction of the change of state, right? So we have the relief from craving. So we have the relief from desire to change. We are in the state that we wanted to get into. We were in a previous state where our mouth was dirty. Then we brushed our teeth, and now we have the satisfaction of not having a morning breath mouth. Okay. We've learned something from the reward. We learn when we've gone through this process, we land up learning the cue as well. It reinforces the cue. I miss coffee and ciggies. No. You don't need to miss them. They're gone. You don't have the craving. You have the craving instead to not smoke. That's kind of what he's trying to do here. I should have quit, but I started back up after boot camp. Oh. As well as caffeine, it's why coffee and cigarettes is my breakfast of choice. Chicken, yes. Okay, listen. They banned You know, like you can go to a supermarket and get a roast chicken at the food counter. Yeah, they're like, no, the pre-prepared food you can't have because of COVID. This is what you do for fun. Yes, I'm the kind of person. What does it say about my identity, David? I'm the kind of person that diagrams self-help books. What does it say? She needs lots of help. I don't know if the craving will ever go away. Yeah, I hear it doesn't. I think my dad stopped smoking cheese before I was born, so more than 32 years ago. And he says sometimes he gets a craving for a smoke. Is the audio and video out of sync? Probably out of sync for everybody. I don't know. The Wi-Fi goes funny sometimes, so it'll make its way back. I can reload. So stupid about COVID, right? Okay, hold on. You just smoked doobies, meow. Now that's good. Okay, hold on. Not for you. Okay, it's just Galente. Ah, and not even for Andrew. And Andrew was having bad. Well, I mean, he was the one that was telling me about the earlier technical difficulties. So anyway, we learn when we go through this process, right? We go through the cue, craving, response, reward, and then we learn, okay, we learn that from the cue we got the reward, right? We landed up doing that. That's how we form our habit. Great stuff. Is that David's real picture, and is that Lucy's real picture? Because Lucy is really pretty, like really, really pretty. Yeah, she is like really, 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 really pretty. And I guess David is also really pretty. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so the point is, yes, that's how the science works. So we take these bits and we put them into a loop. Another loop, boys and girls. We go from the cue to the craving to the response to the reward. So it's just a different way of putting it. But your brain is scanning for this every moment. So this is what's going through your brain all the time. You're getting cues, and then you have this. Obviously, that's a very simplistic way to view absolutely all of your behavior. We are not just input and output, but for the intent of this, of what we're trying to do here, of the behavior change, we are looking at it that way. So we want to identify cues, cravings, responses, and rewards, right? So we want to use the habit loop for our betterment. Okay, so behavior solves problems. The reason we do habits and behaviors and things, as we said earlier in previous quotes, they solve problems. Habits solve problems, right? They are solutions to problems. So if we're going here, behavior solve problems. So there's a problem phase and a solution phase. And the problem phase is the cue and craving. The solution is the response and reward phase, right? That makes sense, right? Cue, craving, solution phase, response, reward. We see the problem. We feel the problem. We do something in response to the problem, and we solve it, therefore getting the reward. Makes a whole bunch of sense. Okay, examples. I love examples. 20 now. Okay, look. So he gave us a whole table of this, but I like the way this was structured. So here's different examples of behaviors / habits, right? Phone message notification. So we get a buzz. What is that? That's obviously the cue. Okay, phone message notification, cue. Then we go to the learn that we have the craving that we want to learn the message contents. So we go and we grab the phone to read the text. Now what happened? How did this work? We now know, we read the text, we now know the message content, which is the reward. But we've learned something here. Associate buzzing with grabbing the phone. So when the phone buzzes, even though I'm ignoring it right now, my habit is actually ignoring it. I have what's happened to me is, instead of wanting to learn I don't want to learn the message contents. I'm scared of the message contents. I don't want to know. I'm scared of what could be in there. So I avoid it. So that's my habit, but we're just talking about the behaviors, yeah? Here's an example, another one, doing emails. Oh, I feel stressed and I want control because I'm doing my emails and I'm feeling overwhelmed at work. So I bite my nails. I don't bite my nails, but the person bites their nails. They get relief from the stress, from the biting of the nails, doing the thing. It's a pacifying thing that they do. Now they start associating doing emails, reading emails with biting nails. Same thing is, okay, I started associating texts with anxiety, so I don't read my texts now. when the phone beeps and stuff, I stay away from it. Okay. You've been told you're the cure to a good week. Not a cue. So I kidnapped David for the face and Hydra for the voice. Oh, Kitty is the solution to the problem of a hard Tuesday. Thanks, Hydra. I can't stand people who are afraid of ticks. Oh my god, it's so weak. Well, there you go. It's not being afraid. Oh my god, I'm afraid. It's social anxiety. It's literally it is just an automatic avoidance that I've absorbed. It's something that I would like to change. So yes, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the kind of person that you don't like, Arachnid. Okay, so I need to get better. Okay, anyway, waking up, example. Want to feel alert. Oh, so what do? I'm feeling groggy. What do? Oh, I drink my coffee. Woo! And then I feel alert. And what do? I start associating. Here's the learning bit. Because remember, we do learning. We do the learning here. Learning. We do the rewards, satisfaction in learning. Right? So we've learned that we need to drink coffee when we wake up. And I have that habit. So at least I can relate to that one. Smell donuts. Okay, so this is like smelling the Cinnabon. When you walk down the street by your office, you crave the donut because you smelt it. That's the cue. Craving, that's your problem. You don't have a donut. Buy the donut and eat it. That gives you the satisfaction. Example, buying a donut becomes associated with walking down the street near the office. So you're like, okay, you decide that that's when I walk down the street near the office. The street part near the office needs to be that. Okay, stumbling block in a project. So I've something difficult in a project happened. Feel stuck and frustrated. Pick up my phone to check social media. Isn't that quite familiar? Oh, well, I'm really pissed off with work. Let me just go and look. Let me just check who's on YouTube. Let's go and check. Oh, let me just check my social media. So what? Oh, I feel the relief because I'm not looking at my work anymore. Oh, checking social media becomes associated with feeling stalled and stressed at work. So yeah, as soon as I've hit some sort of block, I'm gonna go somewhere else, and that's the habit that I've now learned. Dark room, very simple one. This is the last one. I want to see. I have the craving to see, so I go and turn on the light switch. That solves my problem. I'm satisfied my need to see. Turning on the light switch becomes associated with being in a dark room. So you have the automatic response of turning on your light switch. So that's what he's trying to show us here, is that we want habits to become so automatic that he's showing us how habits form, that things do just become so automatic. It's not that we go and say, I'm walking to a room and then you have to think about turning on the light. You literally walk in and turn the light on. That's it. I require truth because truth makes sense. Well, you can say something true and it can still be complicated. Okay, the 4 laws of behavior change. So that now goes to, he takes this habit loop and all of that and turns it into how do we actually apply it. That's the whole idea of the self-help book. Is also cool. All of the philosophy stuff is great, but let's actually put it into work. Let's actually do it. Okay, I'm just going to put speaking of which, I'm going to put my phone on silent because I can't focus. Okay, so he's doing it. He's making a practical framework for us. He wants us to think about the laws as levers. We put the laws in the right place, the levers in the right place, and we go and try and change our behavior. It will work. It'll be easy. So levers in the right position. Levers, crunk. right positions, good habits are easy. Wrong positions, it's nearly impossible. So the reason I didn't do the trash thing, okay, is my levers were all in the wrong place. You have to crave yes, that's exactly it, Andrew. I need to crave the satisfaction of the trash room. I need to crave going outside and going and hearing the doom, doom, doom down the trash chute. I need to associate that with goodness. When I learned that no one could ever give me what I wanted, I stopped putting an emphasis on people's acceptance. That's a nice thing. I'd rather be understood than accepted. Understanding is a form of acceptance. A form. It's not always enough. But I like that. I like that idea. Okay. I can accept somebody's lack of acceptance for me if they can understand me. I think I'm a little bit I like that. Arachnid. Okay. Laws for forming good habits. So that's what he's doing. He's forming the habits, the laws based on this theory of habits, right? Okay, so the first law is cue. The second law is craving. The third law is response. The fourth law is reward. Cool, that makes sense. But the way that he translates this, and then it goes into the rest of the book, is make it obvious. So if your cue, if you need a cue, you want the cue to be obvious for a good habit, right? You want it to be very easy for your brain to detect the good habit cue. Craving, if it's a good habit, make it attractive. We want to make us crave the change of state so that because remember, we needed something to be the craving to be high and the ease of the action to be high as well. So what we need to do is make all of these gauges at the right place so that the actual behavior will occur. Otherwise, we'll just stall at some point. Oh, okay, we might have an obvious cue, but it's not that attractive, so we're not going to do it. Law response, okay, make it easy. Oh, well, if it's not that easy, we're probably not going to do it, even if it's that attractive. So everything needs to be at the right level for you to take that action and get the reward. And the reward, make it satisfying. If it's not rewarding, you ain't going to do it. So let's do it. So now what he does is he inverts those for bad habits. So consider this as we go through. We are going to be talking about good habits, creating good habits and whatever. But he does just think about, obviously, for me, definitely, I have very few good habits. Okay. So we need to focus on the bad habits and find them and break them down. And how do you do that? You go and you look at your laws and the way the law is. Oh, for a cue, we need to make it invisible, that we don't get the cue. We don't get this cue, so we don't get this craving. Oh, we want to make it unattractive. We don't want to crave the bad thing. Okay, it's like some sort of aversion. Response, make it difficult. Make it difficult to do the bad habits. It's like putting that nail polish that people have on their nails. That when they make it unattractive, make it difficult to actually get first of all, to get the bite off, but also it's unattractive. It's not tasting nice, so that's why people don't do it. Then reward, make it unsatisfying. It's not satisfying to do the bad thing. The reason that we do the bad thing, the bad habit, is somehow it serves us. We need to take that away. So it's quite cool. Industrial strength habits. Okay, so there aren't so by the way, he's like, these aren't exhaustive laws for any behavior change, but it's close to it. So he does have that caveat there. No need for but the reason that he says this is there's no need for completely different strategies per habit. That's why he uses the solid word of a law. It's that it applies across. It's like a law of gravity. It applies. You can just apply it to these very complex things that happen in your daily life, and it will make sense. You can apply them. So when you want to know why you're not doing a thing, why don't I blah blah blah, you can look to the laws. So let's do it now. Why don't I take out the trash? Okay, example. Literally me with the trash. Okay, let's look at the laws to figure out the trash bit. Figure out why I fell out of it. Okay. Okay. So if we're going to use this for why don't I look somewhere in the laws? Okay, so let's go literally me with the trash. This is the example. Okay. Let's break it down into the laws, right? The Q is trash bag is full. Okay. The what's it? The craving, which is change of state to throw the bag away. Okay. The response is supposed to be throw the bag away. A bag away. Have clear house. Have clear apartments. Okay, throw the bag away, right? That's the desired. This is the desired response. And then the reward, have clear apartments. Tell friends. Okay, no, not tell friends, but yes, have clear apartments. Cool. Have the clear apartment. It's all be, and also be the person that has the trash thrown away. What? Okay, what's happening? What we're doing is we are, when you are wondering why don't you do a certain habit, or why didn't this certain thing happen, what do you do is you need to look into the laws to see why. The laws can explain why something didn't happen. So the way that I want, literally me with the trash, the way I want to explain it is if I look at the trash, okay, response to every clear partner reward, that's what it's supposed to be, right? But trash bag is full. That's the Q, so it's very obvious. So it couldn't be that. Okay. Throw a bag away. Craving. Do I have the craving? Well, there's the unfortunate thing that happens. Bigger craving to just stuff things deeper into the bag and take away the Q, but into the bag. Throw trash out later. Okay. Okay, I don't know. You guys are talking about if you diagram righteous mind, maybe you'd get another such an atom bump. Righteous mind? My God. Can you imagine me trying to explain that? I've been cuckolded. You're learning so much. Being a cuck is an insult because you're none the wiser. Okay. Yeah, you guys are hilarious, and I'm glad that I've missed most of it though. Because I've been good. I haven't let chat distract me too much this time. Okay. Craving to throw the bag away, have a clear apartment. So that's the ideal craving, but actually I have a bigger craving to just stuff things deep into the bag, throw the trash out later. Okay? Or replace trash bag, put full bag at the door for later. Okay? That's the other bigger craving. That doesn't work. Okay? Not cool. So my response is actually this. Replace the trash bag at the door for later. Throw trash out later. The craving not to, actually no, not even craving to stuff things deeper. Literally craving not to leave the apartment. Okay, I'm usually barefoot, so oh no, I have to put on shoes, and oh, it's going to say oh no, there's so many reasons not to. Okay, response to throw the bag. But no, instead I replace the trash bag, put the full bag at the door for later, and that's it. It sits there. No, is there a reward? And yes, there is the reward. The opposite reward, the reward of just, well, I did something. That's the reward. But I didn't, right? So what I need to do here is, if we're going to apply the laws, obviously we're going to go into more detail through the book. But when we have a bad habit, so I'm going to actually turn these into, I'm going to put these like red because they're the bad ones. Okay. But cuck blocking my friend by having sex with his wife is bull. Oh my God, stop. Okay. Nobody is cucking anyone. I hope not. Don't cuck your husbands, please. That's shit. Don't do that. Get out of that habit. Okay, so yeah, well, I did something, so that's my like pseudo reward, but that actually should induce a craving in me to throw the bag away. That I want to be a cue, actually. That needs to not be a reward anymore. It needs to be a cue. But also, to throw the bag away, have a clear apartment, that's, I need to be more aware of it, of that craving, so that to make the craving stronger, craving to throw it away. Like Andrew said, I've got to crave the smell of the trash room, okay? That must be the smell of success. Okay, response should be to throw the bag away, not to put it at the door. So yeah, the difficulty of the task is where I start on the difficulty. It's like, because my craving is not strong enough to overcome the difficulty, the inherent difficulty of going out and throwing the bag, it won't happen. So yes, having all of this in my mind makes it very difficult to justify the bullshit this is the bullshit I sell myself every time, that I don't throw out the trash. And I'm loving the idea. I like breaking it down to this point, because you'll see we'll do it even more in the next bit. So yeah, I like it. I love it. I love it. Okay, we're done there. If you guys have examples of literally you with the trash, your examples of literally you with the trash, please put them in the comments. I would love to know. Okay. So that was the fundamentals. Look, guys, we are finished this. We're finished with this whole section. So that's chapters 1, 2, and 3. Now we're on to chapter 4, the man who didn't look right. And that's the last bit we're going to do. I will talk to you about what I had prepared afterwards. Okay, let's go. First law. So the first law is, now the book is broken into parts. So we are in the first law part, and the first law part has these chapters in. The man who didn't look right, the best way to start a new habit, motivation is overrated, environment often matters more, the secret to self-control, right? So those are the laws. The first, to make it obvious. But this is the last bit that I've diagrammed, the last bit I've read to, and it's basically this short bit, but then we'll go into the practicalities of what comes from this. The habit scorecard is basically the practical. So, intro. Okay, he gives us several, in his intro, he gives us, as usual, a little story, and that is of a paramedic who sees her father-in-law, and she says he doesn't look right, and she says, we've got to take you to the hospital. She's a paramedic. She can't say exactly why, but she's like, you just don't look right, she says to him. Takes him to the hospital, and turns out he almost had a heart attack. He needed to be in surgery, and yeah, basically, if she didn't take him to the hospital, he could have died. And the reason for that is she had picked up on She didn't know exactly why. She couldn't explain, but she's like, you just don't look right. She didn't say the pattern of the blood flow in your face looks different. No, she just said, you don't look right. Take you to the hospital immediately. That's what she did. And it turns out that what she was seeing was this pattern of blood distribution on his face was different. And she had seen lots of people looking like that in cardiac arrest and things like that. So that's what made her very alarmed. So the cue of that, her cue was the way the face looked, right? Okay. Military analysts. There are military analysts, when they see blips on the radar, there's blips that look exactly the same as their friendly ships or whatever, but then some of them, well, the really highly experienced ones will be able to identify enemy ones. Just there's something about them, they can't explain it, but there's something about them that is off, that is unfamiliar, that makes them identifiable as enemies. So that's an example of another sort of the thing that doesn't look right, a cue, right? Museum curators, authenticating. That's one that comes from Blink, right? The thing where it's just your immediate reaction is just not right. That's the idea he gives of the museum curators, where they look at a forgery and it's just too right, it's too perfect, or there's something about it. They can't tell you what it is, but they're like, this is not real. And they're right. It happens. So, oh yeah, I just want to also, let's continue with our formatting for quotes. Formatting for quotes. Okay. Okay, listen here. If you are not going to, if you in chat, if you are not going to relate this to habits, this cuckold discussion, I'm going to kick you. So tell me, how would you relate this to the concepts that we are learning now? Tell me, relate the cuckold idea to habits. Do it. I'm waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm going to continue. But you do it. I expect it from at least one of you in chat. Don't be giggling. You answer pop quiz. All of you. Come on. Yes. Cuck. Do you want to go look back at think of the 4 laws? There's the cue. Then there's the craving. Then there's the response. And then there's the reward. Tell me how that would be involved in cuckoldry. Kitty, I'm sorry, I don't think we're paying attention. Well, you better. Building a habit of being okay with cucking. You know what? At least Andrew tried. Okay? Andrew points to Gryffindor. Sorry, miss, I'll cease and desist. No. You've got to tell me. You've got to tell me how it relates. You little shits, all of you. Okay. I can contribute. Yes, Hydra, contribute. Apply the concept. Hufflepuff, puff, pass. Oh, you're Ravenclaw. Oh, well, you're Ravenclaw like me. I'm also Ravenclaw. Although, I think I'm very Hufflepuffy sometimes. Take the first step. Just stay in the closet alone for 5 minutes and work your way up to 45 minutes. What are you talking about? You truth-bearing weren't paying attention to me. It's true. It's very bad. I'm glad that chat's that exciting, though. Based. Okay. Museum curators. Okay, cool. So consider hunger. We don't need to see a cookie to know that we're hungry on the counter. Yes, the cookie might cause us to crave the cookie, crave it, but that doesn't mean it's hunger. We don't need to see food before we get hungry. Our bodies are telling us that. So he's talking about automatic processes and the power of those automatic processes. We don't need to be aware of a cue for a habit to begin. That's the whole idea, which is what makes them so dangerous. What makes habits dangerous too? Because we can fall back into old patterns without realizing, and cues spark habits become invisible. So we don't even realize what is causing us to do the bad behavior. We just do it, and they become invisible. So even though invisible to us, okay, obviously the cue is still there, our brain picks it up, but we are not conscious of it. That's what makes it invisible. So before your habits change, you need to get the handle on your current ones and begin the process of behavior change through awareness. So that is what we were talking about way in the beginning of the stream, was actually a discussion of being aware of these thought processes does help us. And that's what I will be doing. And that's what you need to be aware of, the cuckoldry. I'm looking for cookies are dangerous. Exactly. You want cuckception. My cousin has a son she had with her ex. Okay. She has two more from her boyfriend and his ex. And she takes care of her brother's kids that aren't his either. Just mentioning the word cookie is making me hungry. Just mentioning the word cookie is making me think of the Oreos. There's Oreos in my house. See, the cue is that I have Oreos in my house and I have a craving. Now we're just talking about it. Stop. Dave, how did you kick your cucking habit? You know what? Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it back to the topic. You related it in the wrong way. Related to the book, so. Oh, here we go. So we build a ritual, build anticipation, and then the reward at the end. So you look forward to the cucking. No, get married if you want to cheat. You know what? That's another, you know what? You could crave to cuck your partner, I suppose. But the craving should not cause you to do it. Oreos. You guys are so mean. No, they're not. How would habit of being cucked or cucking others? Both. How do you do that? How would you do that? Apply the laws. I'm going to fucking apply the laws to you, Oaks. You know what? Fine. Fuck you. Okay. Fuck you, chat. Let's go. Let's. I'm going to do an example. And it's going to be white. Because it's screw your eyes. I think we should get away from it. Depends on what you're into. I said, tell your wife if you don't. Habit of being cucked. Okay, so look. Class discussion. Applying. Fuck you, chat. Okay. Right. So we have the concept. I want to apply this. Okay, cucking and being cucked. Imagined as habits. Imagined as habits. Okay, let's imagine it as a habit. Applying the laws. This poor. Can you imagine if this? No, that's not. Okay, I'm not listening to Andrew. You're not listening to me either. Come, will you guys listen to me if I speak about cucking? So listen. Okay, imagine I'm a great teacher. Cucking, imagined as a habit. So if we do our 4 laws, right? So we've got to do. Okay, so we've got to do the cue. We've got to do the craving. We've got to do the response. And then we've got to do the reward. Okay, if this imagined as a habit, cucking is a bad habit. It is a bad habit. Lucy and I have both said so. Okay. So Q is waifu with big booba, like actual available woman with big booba. That's just a big booba woman. Okay. Cucking your partner. Okay, so this we're just going to pretend that everyone is attracted to big booba woman. So let's just forget this. Okay, Q, big booba woman. Craving to be with booba woman who isn't your partner. This degeneracy. Okay, that's the craving. Okay, the response. Go speak to big booba woman. Okay, reward. Motivating. Big booba woman. Okay. There you go. So that's a bad habit. That is the bad habit. You have now associated big booba woman with cucking. Motivating, right? Okay. So if we want to change this habit, right? How do we change this habit, this bad habit of what's the name of cucking this person, right? The big booba woman, we're going to attack the Q. How do we change the Q? We can't change the Q. We can't close our eyes. The Q it will just exist. You have the craving to be with big booba woman who isn't your partner. That's not good. You're going to cuck the person. So then we come in with awareness, ladies and gentlemen. Awareness comes in and says, hey, woman isn't your partner. And Lucy and Kitty say, and I'm saying, Lucy, I'm putting it in your, oh, she says breast reduction. No, we can't reduce all the breasts, okay? Woman isn't your partner, and Lucy and Kitty say cucking is bad, so I mustn't do it. Okay? Now this is an obvious cue, and the craving is pretty powerful. But we're hoping that this awareness will make the craving, take the craving away, or make the craving unattractive. Okay? Kitty will be very upset with me if I motivate both this woman. Okay? So I should not do it. Okay? Go speak to big booba woman. No, we won't even get there. We cut it off at the knees. There's no risk. The response turns into, the new response will be, go to think about booba and move on. That will be your new response. Reward, new reward, actual happiness with your partner because you didn't throw it all away for silly booba. Ta-da! I made it. Apply, you little bitches. I can do it. I can put your degeneracy into the diagram. Okay. What if wife wants to do the motorboating? Well, then awareness and all of this over here comes out. We have decided that this was a bad habit. Okay. Because remember, in the previous steps of the book, we had to decide which kind of person we're going to be. If you're the kind of person that wants to do the cucking, then this is not a thing. Okay? Being cucked. Are we going to do that one? Impressive work. Thank you. Okay. I'm feeling so inappropriate right now. I'm glad. Well, that was now that is for the bull, now for the cuck. No, just okay. So being cucked. So if you are being cucked, okay, this is it's not really look. This completely takes away from the whole actual atomizedness of it. And yes, it is a joke, but it's just practice of the laws, okay? Applying the laws, or breaking it down into thought processes, and what we're actually doing when we put in awareness. Okay, this is what happens when we stay away from our baser instincts, right? It is what happens. We could do this with a cookie, but we're talking about a different kind of cookie here. So being cucked, let's do the being. Okay, I've learned so much. Thank you, Sparkles. The art of cuckoldry. Being cucked is being cuckold. Okay, as a math person, it's always fun to give a function an unexpected input. Okay, so imagined as habit. Okay, let's go. Q. Q. Craving. Look, obviously this is somebody else's habit. Now build the cucking habits. No, okay. So this is look, this is somebody else's behavior, but we're going to turn your response to their behavior into a habit, okay? And I'm going to make it serious, and you guys are going to feel very, very ashamed of yourselves. Okay, craving. Imagine this habit, craving. We do craving, then response, and then reward. Okay, so Q. Well, you see your woman with no, I'm not going to being cucked. Should we see your partner with motorboating the big booba lady? Okay, craving is to allow it. You shall be cucked. Cucking is okay. Okay, that's for you. You're okay with it. Okay. Your response is then do nothing. Allow the cucking. The reward is no conflict with your partner, I suppose. Because you're not going to fight with them. You're not going to say, hey, you, stop the motorboating. That's not right. I'm worth being monogamous with. All of that. No? Okay. That you're not going to do that. You would rather just leave it. It's fine. Okay? Now, if we want to change this habit, we want awareness. Okay? The awareness is, oh, cucking is actually not cucking is okay. You shall be cucked. The awareness is, I shall be cucked. So awareness comes in. Awareness comes in and says, cucking not good. Okay? Okay. How big are the booba? Not right. Okay. The ignorance of the listen. Ignorance of the act. No. We're just saying that listen, the way that it is for us in our current time, this current time is allowing it. Okay? That's our definition of it. Okay. Cuck the cuck. Cucking is not good. Awareness. Don't allow it. Ooh. Don't allow it. Okay? Your response, new response, don't allow it. Confront your partner. The reward, new reward, you are not cocked. You are no longer with someone who cucks you, who wants to cuck you. Here you go. Ta-da! Going to bar club with wife, craving. See big, strong bull to tune up wife. Response, go talk to bull to make offer award. Front row seats in the closet. Eee! 0 fucks. Okay, so there we go. We applied to this degeneracy. Thank you, chat. I wanted to make what you were talking about in chat class, I'm going to say class exercise. Chat exercise. Chat exercise. Okay? I'm going to have to remove this from the diagram and from the stream. Fuck you guys. Okay, let's go back to the actual book, which is blue and not bright, because it's not, Kitty has been audience captured. How was audience captured? You're so right, David. Hot wifing. I'm a cuck purist. He has to be in on it. Okay. Anyway, let's just go quickly to the last bit of this chapter. I was going to do something else after this, but I think we'll just go into means and I'll go to bed, I think, because I won't have enough time to do what I was going to do. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Cool. So what he was talking about is the man who did not look right. The intro, it's the first chapter. It's about the cue, right? We are talking about cues. So like I said in our cuck example, begin the process of behavior change through awareness. So that's the spot we're at. Okay. And the way that we do it is Japanese railways. No. Okay, so is using the habits scorecard. This is actually an actual practical example. Okay, Japanese railways. So the reason that he talks about the example of the Japanese railways is they have a pointing and calling safety procedure where they go, all clear on the platform. You've seen things like that. There's all kinds of procedures where they say out loud or they point at things before the certain part of the process is allowed to go further. So that's what they've done they do on the Japanese railway. It's the same sort of thing as when people walk out of their house and they go keys, wallets, whatever, glasses. In the example that his wife uses is husband. So keys, wallet, glasses, husband. Cool. Have we got everything? Lock the door. That's pointing and calling. So that's the whole idea behind the awareness before behavior change. Okay, so we want that point and call in personal life. So your failures in performance is largely due to lack of self-awareness. Fancy that. I don't really know what's going on. And that's what is so cool about breaking even the tiniest little bits of your behavior. That's what CBT is about. Breaking the little bits of your thinking down into little steps and being aware of them. That is the first step in cognitive behavioral therapy, is to be aware of the things, the way your brain is working. And that is when you can slow it down and change it. So that's what's so cool about this fitting in with cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, so point and call in personal life, we want that. So why we do that is we are raising the non-conscious. And remember, non-conscious is things we can access and things we can't access. So things that are not at the level of our consciousness, we're still just trying to bring them higher. Raising non-conscious to conscious through verbalization. So literal verbalization, he even speaks about actually saying it out loud. That's the reason. He does give stats and everything of the improvement that actually occurs when when people implement pointing and calling safety procedures, that there are fewer incidents. There are all kinds of examples of people being saved from using this verbalization, because as much as I can expect even the pointing and saying of a thing can become a habit and can become quite automatic and just autopilot, that's not good. The real pointing and calling, when it really is implemented properly with consciousness, it works. So he literally said verbalization. When you speak something aloud, okay, it makes the consequences real. And it doesn't let you mindlessly slip into an old routine. So I've actually done this today just from having read this. Obviously, it's very difficult to do this in public. You're not going to say it. So a lot of the time, I was just walking through my day, doing stuff and going as if I'm said it to myself, going, I am doing this. I am doing that. So what he does say is you should vocalize it. So he actually says you don't even need to change your habit or whatever. You can literally go, I'm eating this Oreo cookie, even though I know that I don't want to put on weight. Like, you go and you do that. And that gives it power. That makes it brings it to the front of your mind. You have to go to yourself and say that. And I really did this today, just getting into the habit of thinking that way. And there were already a few things that I did because I noticed that I was avoiding them. I was going, I didn't say it out loud, not yet, but when it comes to that freaking Oreo cookie, Cinzia, if you're going to eat that cookie, you have to say it out loud that you're making the decision to eat the cookie. You have to, if you're not going to throw out the trash today, you're going to have to say, I'm not throwing the trash out today because I don't care. You got to do that. Or I'm going to skip. I think it'll be fine if I skip throwing out the trash today. You have to say it. And that just blew my mind, because it's the practical step that really, to me, it makes a difference. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a new broom sweeps clean and it seems very amazing to me. Maybe I will start not giving a shit so hard that I will say it out loud that I don't care and I will eat the cookie. I don't know. I'll let you guys know in the next episode. But I really like this idea. Obviously, if like, there were times when I was downstairs, I was in the shop, I didn't speak to myself, or out loud. But even the process of making that thought in my head, saying to myself in my head, you are deciding to buy this now. I had to go and buy my birth control pill. And I could buy it. I could have it tomorrow. Could have gone tomorrow. That's my favorite thing. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I don't need to. Oh, well, there's time for me to go, but I don't need to go. And I had this thought process. I said, fine, Cinzia, you have to now tell yourself that you are going to do that tomorrow. And the reason that you're not doing it today is because you're putting it off to tomorrow. There's no other reason. And I couldn't do it. So I went and I got my freaking pill. So that's it. It's quite cool. So list of days. So what the practical thing to do is have a list of your daily habits. And I mean daily. So what you have to do is say whether they're positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, so what does he mean by that? Is like, okay, are they are they beneficial to you, these habits that you do? Waking up, is it a good thing? Yeah, okay, I suppose. But waking up is neutral. Waking up at the time that you decided, that will be a positive habit, that sort of thing. So there's neutral, there's positive, negative, and neutral, and you got to think about whether it's beneficial or non-beneficial when you're trying to decide whether it's plus or minus or neutral. No need to change anything yet. So literally, that was quite cool, is that you don't need to change anything yet. Just think about your habits. And that was what I started to do today. So yeah, there is a daily habits worksheet that you can actually go and download. If you go to the website, you go to atomichabbits.com/habit score /scorecard, and you can get that. You have to subscribe to his emails and things like that, which obviously I did. And yeah, I started writing down a few of my daily habits. And you're supposed to go in order as you go along to recognize. So, I mean, I've only done a few from today, but here I already said my habits are really bad. What are you supposed to do when you see Big Booba? You've just got to go, and that's it. You don't speak to Big Booba. You don't have to go and motorboat Booba. You can imagine motorboating, whatever, but you don't go and do it. That's the thing. Should you wake up? I think it's good. I think you should wake up. Until Sparkles kidnaps you. Is Sparkles single? Okay. Matchmaker kitty. Smile and stare. Got it. Yeah, and do this. Don't do that, please. So my habits. Okay. Some of the ones that I identified: negative, snooze alarm. I snooze a lot. Okay. I go and say hello to Daisy. Positive. But that's because Gordon makes it difficult for me not to go and say hello to Daisy. I have to go and say hello to Daisy because she's on the perch and she's not going to come in the bedroom in the morning. So that's a good thing. It's good. It gets me out of bed. But then I go back to sleep. Another one, I have breakfast. Positive. But I have Oreos for breakfast. Negative. I used to have oats. Positive. But breakfast, yeah, just no Oreos instead. Negative. Okay. Then I get dressed. Positive. Good thing. Be dressed is a good thing. Get online. Yes, good thing. Oh, but then I get like, oh no, I need to do something else. No, and I don't want to look at my messages. So I just go, oh no, I need to make a cup of coffee. Bad habits. Okay. Boom. So I've got mostly bad habits. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the next few days, is writing them down. And just identifying them. And what he says is, don't be happy when you do don't like praise yourself for a good one, or berate yourself for a bad one, Nico. Don't do that. Just notice them. We're only applying the awareness principle. Okay, that's it. So you can still continue, Oaks. Listen, you can continue cucking and being cucked under this paradigm. You just need to notice that that's what's happening. We need to apply the awareness principles. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, my medication, that's a good one to do. Put on music, that's a good one. I did have some other habits where it was like I would do a daily move from the Calm app. I used to do that. There's so many good ones that I just don't do anymore. So yeah, there's that. But I'm looking at my bad habits. Like, I'm trying to identify them. That was the practical part of it. You guys, if you think of Too Bad Books Are for Nerds, hi Flaccid. Well, yeah. I tried to do a positive thing, but these bitches over here start talking about cuckolds and stuff like that. So we had to apply cuckoldry to habits. So what we're doing, your assignment, everybody, is to be aware of your cravings for Big Booba. Okay? Or just be aware of your craving for Cookie. Today was all about cucks. Yes, it was all about cucks. It was Lucy's fault. It's all Lucy. Random tip. If you are addicted to coffee, give hot chocolate cocoa spin instead. Oh, really? Is that, yeah, I shouldn't have as much caffeine. So if it just is more calories in hot cocoa. Need to find one with lower calorie intake. So yeah, next chapters will be the best way to start a new habit, and motivation is overrated. So we're going to talk about our environments, and the secret to self-control is what comes next. So we are in the first law, making it obvious. That's what we're doing. Okay? That's where we're at. So if we go back to the table of contents, this is where we are, part 2. There we go. We have come this far. So we're done with that. And we're done with this. Hi, Nixie Bui. I hate my phone sometimes. Won't give you a caffeine, try different teas. Random tip is the whole problem, Kitty. Very well done, David. I work like this. Two can play at bullshit games. Don't get mad when you find out that someone is better at it than you when you took it there. What are you talking about? I don't know what you guys are fighting about. I don't know. There has to be some shit going on. What I wanted to do, okay, I will look at the interesting meme. But another thing I will do, what I wanted to do afterwards, is at the end of this stream, was I was actually going to go over the cherry panel. I guess I am mad. Yeah, I was going to go over the cherry panel with Destiny and Stitch and Adam. That's what I was looking at earlier. You're not talking about titties? Everyone's always talking about titties, though. Okay, that is the end of the book stream. Let's have a look at. I've forgotten my hotkey for streamer mode on Discord, so I'm just gonna have to go back to it. Keybinds. Okay. There we go. No, Ixie boy. Okay. So this is the music. Vincent said. Modest Mouse is what we sorry, let's put you smaller. Half. There we go. Modest Mouse. For Your Health. What's on For Your Health? Oh, wow. Jesus. That's what? Almost 20,000 steps, 15 kilometers. And Peru. That's so great. Anyway, if you haven't joined the Discord, this is what I'm looking at. So speaking of habits that I fell out of, this was me doing a bike workout last week. Tomorrow I need to post one for you guys. Okay. Then memes. Okay, there's many memes that I've missed up. But yes, that is it. I love these. Okay, wait, but Andrew said this is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Jake realizes his only friend in prison is a C. I don't know. A C what? Is it? Is a what? Is a cannibal. Oh, that's the reference that he was giving us earlier. Chat, Kitty. It's true, you little shits, all of you. I find it hilarious. Do you see the video posted of my son with the cats? I haven't watched it. But it was in random pics, right? Oh, this also, that was beautiful. Not random pics, videos. Yeah. Where was it? Was it in Chat It Up? There. Okay, so this is it. I'm gonna have to share my system audio. Just hold on. Let me just put on my headset. Okay. We will. I've got the audio, so we'll watch Andrew's one first, and then we'll watch the kitty cat. Wait, let's just watch the kitty cat. Just hold on.
Yes. Yes.
No, thank you. It is very weird. No, I don't like it. No bueno. I just like how you found the right look. Okay, we will watch this one now.
Come and visit you.
The alarm went off before we could even talk.
Oh, that's too bad, bud. But at least you have people who want to come and visit you. My family hasn't been to see me since my trial. You eat 9 people and all of a sudden they don't know who you are anymore.
Oh, come on.
What? Did you say eat people? Are you a cannibal, Caleb?
Well, that's not how I would define myself. If we're going by what I'm most passionate about, I would say that I'm a woodworker. Why did you think I was in protective custody?
I don't know. I guess I hoped you were another cop wrongly convicted of crimes you didn't commit.
Nope, I did all my stuff and more. There's tons that can't even trace to me. The secret is eating the evidence.
Okay, this is just
The secret
great.
is eating the
I'll see you
evidence.
from the outside for another 3 weeks, and my only friend here is a cannibal.
Woodworker.
It's all about perception. That's what Andrew is trying to say. I love Andy Samberg too. He's great. Catcher is still your favorite. Yes, he is. He's the class. He's the teacher's pet. You missed the garbage kitty meme. I didn't. Yeah. Oh, I want to be a trash person. Oh, that one. Yes. I'm gonna send that to Gordon and be like, that's what he's gonna say. How was stream? And I'm be like, that's what it was. This one's the one that I liked. Yeah. That show is underrated. You know what? It went a bit eek at the end. Now I'm thinking Catru. What? Because it's not good enough, or what? Burger King reportedly facing lawsuit because its Whoppers are too small. We're talking about Booba again, right? Yeah. I always thought I was the teacher's pet. Well, some other teacher, I suppose. I was going to switch over to the what's the name? Where is it? To the cherry panel, but I don't think it's worth starting. I want to be fresh to start it. So we'll do it another time. Possibly Thursday with a panel about the panel. Or it will be my next debate diagram. I don't know. I just wanted to get down to today's stuff, and there is an assignment. I do expect you to think more about your habits than just Booba. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Also, I think everybody should be a trash person. Be the kind of person. A summary of today's lesson is that we have to be the kind of person that will do the habits. Okay? So I'm going to try and keep those thoughts in my mind and see how it goes. Obviously, it's so easy to just say I'm going to do all these things, but the accountability stuff is telling you guys this does make it verbalizing it is giving it power and making it scary. It's making it unattractive for me not to complete these habits. Anyway, next, see how a lot. Okay, anyway. Thank you everybody for coming around. I don't know if I will see you. No, I think I'll probably go to bed. Because one of my bad habits is staying up too late. But if I'm not staying up for a stream, I should just take the opportunity to go to sleep, don't you think? And thoughts about trash or cucking. Thoughts about trash need to be about taking the trash out. And you know what? I really want all of you to go and have a dream about taking the trash out, an absolutely mundane dream. And put it in the comment section. Tell me that I influenced your dreams. Anyway, have a nice life. That's the whole point of the book, is to have a nice life. So I think you should try that out. Join the Discord. Keep an eye on your notifications. And if you can, please do have a look at my donation screen on Stream Elements or whatever, or PayPal, because we are trying to build a PC, and it's going to happen. I'm going to get an actual build spec'd properly, and I say properly, even though Andrew's given me specs. I also want Delta to give me specs. He's Kevin will give me specs, and then I will be able to game. We're hoping that a game properly, because I'm so sick of having a potato computer. Anyway, get out of the habit of having a potato computer. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, look at you, Lucy remembered that you can go exclamation point tip and find the random tip. That's the whole idea. The last stream was unwatchable. I know, it was bad. And you know what? Specs, yes. Specs. Cucking someone is a sign of a man that doesn't get a lot of box. Okay. Anyway, the last stream, it was unwatchable. Then I went and I recorded, and it actually, I'm gonna make a command that says cuck. Actually, so 0 fucks. Next stream you can try that out. But yeah, Andrew, I went and I recorded afterwards. The recording was trash. I had a great time playing that demo, but it was trash. So trash. How many times can I say trash in this thingy? Anyway, have a nice life. Okay, thanks. Bye. Oh yeah, sorry.
Go and subscribe. You should. Go and subscribe.